good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome to the Armory. Welcome to X. Hope everyone's doing well. We have a very full house today. We're going to start with the reaction man, the well-known reaction man down there, but he's obviously been busy, so obviously I've been able to do it. But Gumza, how are we doing?
I think you're on mute.
You're on mute, mate. Lots of words.
Oh,
look at him.
Can we hear him? Oh no!
He's so pissed off. Lost for words, ladies and gentlemen. Do you see his face? See how pissed off he is? No words needed. Nothing at all. We feel it. We understand your pain.
I mean,
right?
there are no words, is there? You know.
Well, that's it's a good start, isn't it? We'll go to Tony whilst Gums are trying to work out what's going on. How you doing, Tony?
I'm cold. I'm tired. I'm stressed. If I'm brutally honest.
Yeah. Well, this will be a therapy session today.
I hope so.
Well, it needs to be because it was horrendous last night. And Steve, how are we doing, Steve?
Good, loving it, perfect, great times.
Oh crikey! It's just horrendous. Hopefully, Gumza can join us. So, Gumza, give me a thumbs up when you think you might have sorted it, and I'll come to you.
Can you hear me?
Ah, yes, there we go. Perfect. How are you doing, Gumza?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Still
Not happy with yesterday, but we move.
We do. Where do we move to, though? Anywhere else?
Yeah, I was going to
say. Look, we'll try and find some positives in yesterday, but look.
How long is this show going to get going for? You're going to try and find fucking positives? Are you mad?
Yeah, I know.
This must be a 75-hour stream, you know? We're going to be going out. Can I phone a friend? Shit!
It's mad, isn't it? Big up to Reinhard watching on X saying Arteta out. I get the feeling. I'm not going to say you're wrong because I'm not. I'm just not going to say it. It's your opinion, and I respect it enough. So big up to Reinhard. Big up to Brenny saying morning, gents. Hope you feel better soon, Brenny. I know you're under the weather at the moment. Big up to Simba saying morning, mate. Morning, Simba. Hope you're doing well. And big up to Chris saying morning, gents. Yes, I can see the little giggle at the end of that. Yeah, cheers, Chris. Obviously, Chris
just
is a Liverpool
Tottenham,
fan.
please speak Spurs.
Yeah, exactly. We are all Liverpool fans tonight. I guarantee you that. Right. Obviously, that was the score last night. Fucking hell. Oh God. Gumza, where do you want to start, mate?
We'll start with the lineup. It's best place, I think.
Well, this is the thing, right? I know earlier in the day that was not our starting lineup for last night. That was changed within, I'd say, about 3 hours. It was changed. There was going to be a couple of players that were meant to be playing last night, and they didn't. I don't know what happened. I haven't been told what's happened. But the starting lineup, which I will go into very quickly because it was here. I've got the loads of slides. Here we go. That was our starting lineup last night. That was not our starting lineup at midday yesterday. That tells you quite a lot. There was a two-player. I can't tell you because I'm not allowed to say anything yet regarding who was meant to be playing. But that was not the starting lineup I saw at midday yesterday. There was
because somebody just probably realised he has to take this a bit seriously.
I personally think that possibly happened, but there was two players that did not even go on the bench that was meant to be playing yesterday. Sterling is not even fit. Sterling was on the bench last night. He's not even fit. I honestly, I don't know what's happened. I honestly do not understand what the hell happened yesterday. But Gonza, you want to talk about the lineup? So there's the lineup. What did you think?
I think it was the strongest he could have gone with.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
The only other thing is, do you play Jesus somewhere and get Jesus and Havertz into the team somehow? Which we haven't seen really much, but we had a half an hour cameo yesterday of Havertz on the wing, and I think he was the only one that actually beat their man very easily. So maybe we have to look at that. But again, yeah, for me, Lewis Skelly or Callie, it would be a toss-up between those two. But I think that's as strong as you can really go, give and take one or two, which are like for like. But yeah, I was pretty happy when I saw it because obviously you spoke in the day, Bobby, and said that we could be in for a shock. So I was thinking, would it be Kibbe or would it be Marino maybe? So once I saw that lineup, I was happy and confident going into it, in all honesty.
Yeah. But where do you think it went wrong? Because obviously that was not a good performance last night.
Oh, and then he's
If it's coming back to me, for me, performance-wise, I would say take the first 30 minutes. I think we was in full control. We had obviously the real good opportunity. Well, Martinelli for me had two. He had the one where he's hit the post, and earlier before that, he had the ball over the top where he has to just square it for Trossard first time, and he takes touches. He allows the fullback to get back goal side, or the centre back. I think it might have been get goal side, and the attack broke down. And I think those two moments there, if we capitalise on one of them, it could be a different game altogether. Both sides of the ball, we just bad. Like Saliba and Gabriel, I think that's the worst I've seen them. So even if you take away the goals, even before that, Isaac was running in Gabriel's channel. Gabriel's stepping up, Saliba's dropping off. It actually looked like maybe there was a change at the back, and Gabriel maybe wasn't meant to start. And maybe they worked on something that Gabriel hadn't worked on, because him and Saliba didn't look like they were in unison yesterday at all. I think once Newcastle get one, it's almost similar to Arsenal last year, isn't they? They're very robust, very defensively sound. They camped in. We were knocking on the door. It seemed like one of the games we could have had another 2 hours of that game. We wouldn't have scored. Their bodies were on the line. They were blocking. They looked together as a team, and we just looked disjointed at the moment. And that comes with, again, they had two opportunities, and we looked like we was asleep. Every time we got into their box, they were just running out, flying, bodies on the line, just defending their goal. And that was the big difference for me. It was that determination to keep the clean sheet.
Yeah. Okay. Tone, where do you think it went wrong last night?
Well, it's a Martinelli's miss for me. He should be scoring that, and it'll be a different game completely. Because you just know Newcastle, they only need a couple of chances. They got some class stats going for. We know about Isak, we know about Gordon, and you know they're going to punish you. You got to take your chances against teams like Newcastle. And for me, Martinelli should be the one that hit the post. He should be burying it. It's as simple as that. And as soon as he missed that, I just kind of knew.
Okay. So no, because obviously a lot of people are playing Havertz for that miss as well. But
he's got to be doing better there as well. But look, Havertz has only just come back. I still think he's ill, personally. He just didn't look at it at all yesterday.
Just quickly, Bob, why did they blame Havertz? Is it because he wasn't trying to get in the box? Is that what they're saying?
The Havertz was the miss, wasn't it? It was he shouldn't
the
have
shoulder header, whatever you want to call it.
That's late on in the game, isn't it?
But yeah, for me, it's the early Martinelli chance. Like
okay.
Look how many chances. I mean, you're going to go onto it, but you look at how many chances Newcastle needed. We need to take our chances, and that's been the case in for the whole season, really.
Pretty much the whole season, yeah. But we have a couple of games where we actually do put our chances away, but last night was one of those where I think we had 23 shots and 3 on target. That tells you everything. Steve, where do you think it went wrong?
23 shots and 3 on target.
Yeah.
You just 23 shots, 3 on bloody target.
Yeah.
I've got an idea where it went wrong. It went wrong when we've had a 7, but we didn't buy an 11. I've been screaming for it for 2 fucking years. I've got 2 11s, all right, on that left-hand side. One of them shouldn't be at the club anymore. One's good enough for the bench. Kai Havertz, you can blame him all you want. Kai Havertz is doing better at Arsenal than he was at Chelsea. It's not his fault that he's doing what he's doing. That's the best he's got. We all know it, right? Our problem simply, we keep trying to get square pegs and put him into round holes. We didn't replace the number 8. We didn't replace our 11. We don't have a 9. 3 players missing in that squad. That's the problem in Arsenal. That's the problem here. Like, you look at this game, it was disjointed. Oh, you've got all this possession. You've got all these shots. Yeah, it's a cool story. Gabriel Martinelli hits the target once in a blue fucking moon. He always goes near post, and what happens? It's 1 out of 5 that he gets it. 1 out of 5, if you're lucky, that he'll get that. He's the same shit from Martinelli. He's not good enough to be even on the bench for Arsenal, but he's starting. He's starting. Do you think that anyone was worried about Martinelli in this game from the Liverpool side? I want to ask a question. Was anyone at Newcastle worried about Martinelli? I wouldn't be, but I'm just going to ask. Boys, do you think that Newcastle were worried about Martinelli? Just wondering.
You look at
Same job on him.
Livermento, he had Werner in his pocket in the weekend, and Werner's one of the quickest players in the league, as is Martinelli. There's just with both of them, there ain't really much of an end product.
No substance, right? No substance. It's look, at the end of the day, for us to have won this game, it would have had to have been. We would have had to have shown that we were somewhat clinical. Unfortunately, Odegaard didn't look right in this game, to be honest, and he hasn't looked right in the last 4 or 5. Kai Havertz didn't look like the Kai Havertz that I've seen before. Not saying that he's wonderful, but he didn't look on the ball. Yeah, I think so, eh? And look, when you look at Saliba and Gabriel, look, yeah, they look like they were 2 players that hadn't played side by side before. So the defensive line did have a bit of a hard time, but I'm going to put it on the attack. At the end of the day, you can't have that much possession and that many shots on goal and only have 3 shots on target. There's a big billboard right now screaming at that stat. 23 shots, 3 on target. Either you need to do a bit of work on the training pitch, or maybe some of these guys aren't fit for purpose. I don't know. Don't know. But that's been the case this season. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's all right. Someone has joined us backstage, so I'm going to bring him in. This could be fun. Hello, Akbos.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me on the stream.
I love it. Perfect.
Right, Akbos, I'm going to ask the same question I asked Gumza and Tony and Steve. Where do you think it went wrong last night?
Well, I think defensively we were poor. And offensively, we saw something we've been seeing for a very long time now under Mikel Arteta. I think we saw it mostly last season, which is we can't finish our meal. And this was one of the reasons why a lot of us were calling for that finisher, that striker with killer instinct during the last summer transfer window. But that was not possible for reasons that we don't know right now. So yesterday was a very frustrating and disappointing result. And also the performance was also not a good one that you would associate with a club that wants to win the big trophies. Because this was also another opportunity for...
I think we lost him.
Yeah, I think we have.
But I know what he's going to say. I do know what he's going to say, because I really said this in our little group chat yesterday. That I pointed out, this is the perfect opportunity to go out and win something. But you've got a semi-final. You've got a competition that runs halfway through, finishes halfway through the season. You give them that little bit of taste of success in February. That will drive them more going into the other competitions in the last stage of the season. But now I think we've just blown it.
Yeah, for me. I don't see us coming back from this.
No.
2 goals down.
James Park and winning by 3 clear goals. It's not happening.
Nah,
we all know what they're going to do. We all know what they're going to do. We all know.
Yeah,
they do every time we play them at St James's Park anyway, and they catch us on the counter. Yeah. This time, all they need to do is just sit back and comment and have a go. And we all know defensively they're sound.
Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna add one Akpos. Hopefully this one works. Akpos, you back?
Yeah. I'm back now. Sorry for the breaking transmission.
That's all right. Sorry. What were you saying anyway before you left? Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I was saying the performance yesterday was a very disappointing one. The result was also very disappointing, because this was a very big opportunity for us, a very big window for this manager to add yet another trophy to his achievement at this football club. But it seems like we've thrown it out of the window, because it was all mistakes for us. The goals that we considered in that game were avoidable goals. Especially the first goal. If we had done our defensive duties very well there, I think that goal would not have happened. And the most painful part for me is that, yes, we've made defensive mistakes. We also had chances on the other end to score goals to keep us in this tie. Gabriel Martinelli's chance, for me, I think that should be a goal, in my opinion, because that was a beautiful chance. If we had scored first, maybe the game would have not have gone in the direction that it went on eventually. And then we also had a glorious opportunity from Kai Havertz, also in the same game, to score a goal. I think after the 2-0 defeat to Liverpool in the FA Cup, Mikel Arteta came during his post-match presser, and he said very similar things to what he said yesterday. So some of the problems we saw during the game yesterday with Newcastle were problems that was pre-existing at this football club for over a year, and we had an opportunity during the last summer transfer window to, mitigate some of these issues. It's not like we did not create chances. We created a lot of chances in that game. But how we came out from that game not scoring a single goal is still a mystery at this football club. But we have a manager who would come in after the game and saying we were not clinical and all that. But what have you been doing to solve this clinicality problem we've been experiencing at this football club under your reign? He has done next to nothing. If we pull up the offensive signing this manager has signed, none of these offensive players are clinical. And we wonder why we do not have players that will step up in key moments. What was the difference between us and Newcastle yesterday? They had a striker who was the difference in Isak.
Wait a sec.
Who stepped up in
They had a 9. They had a 9 and an 11. Just saying.
No. But I think everything revolved around Isak. I don't want to talk about the 11 first. I'm just pointing out Isak because the both goals came through him, and that was the difference for between the two teams. We were supposed to have the best defense, but even our best defense showed you what a proper striker could do to the supposed best defense in the division on their day.
I mean, for me, that goal, Odegaard's got to do better. Odegaard's got to. He was weak. People were saying, "Oh, it's a foul, or whatever." He's weak.
Odegaard has been poor. Tony, this is what we've been saying. Odegaard and Saka have been carrying this team on their back for a while now. Then we had Martinelli when he had a fantastic season in the 2021 season. But these guys have been calling that. We've been saying it that these guys need support. Now without Bukayo Saka, Odegaard out of form, this team is nowhere in the big moments. Yesterday was a big moment for us, was a big opportunity for us. But it seems like it's out of the door now. So for me, it's a very frustrating period for me. And the most painful part is we had an opportunity in the last summer to correct some of these lapses. But this manager, I don't know what he was doing. If after what you saw against Liverpool about a year ago, I think it was around January 2024, you said the team was not clinical, you had an opportunity in the last summer. How many clinical players did you bring in to help you mitigate some of these issues? And some of the reasons why I think we lost the league last season was very close to fine margin. If you look at it, the number of goals scored between us and City was about 5 goals or so. The number of points was also very close. The number of conceded goals, we did so much better than City did last season. But we did next to nothing to improve our goal scoring chances. We did next to nothing in that summer transfer window to increase the number of goals we would potentially score this season. We did next to nothing. Look at the players we signed.
Technically,
we got rid of 4 attacking players.
Well, I was about to say, we actually weakened it. We weakened it, if anything. We didn't.
4 attacking players. We got rid of Smith Rowe. We got rid of Nelson and Nketiah and Fabio Vieira on loan, and we brought in Raheem Sterling on loan, who isn't playing. So it blows my mind.
Yeah. Right, guys, before I ask you an important question regarding Isak, I just want to go for the comments because they have been building up. So I apologise, people in the comments. This is your show as well as ours. Big up to Temi saying, evening, gents. Trying to find positives. Good luck with that. I'll call a person that searches for gold. He might help. Big up to Cole saying, morning, gents. Sign a striker. We would have won if Vinny had started. No, Temi, stop this. No. That's what happens when you don't take your chances. Yeah. We've always have these strange 2-0 home defeats where we do all the playing and the opposition do all the scoring. The mystery 2 players. We are cursed. Big up to Abadoon watching on X as well. Mikel Arteta out of my beloved club. Can't even give the Gums that also foul excuse for this for this defeat. He can't learn from his past mistakes. Big up to
Spot
Manny
on.
saying hello, Tony Lee. Tony Fox, she meant. Sorry. Big up to
Man,
Mandy.
Andy, I hope you're looking after Gunner King today. I hope you're looking after him.
Oh, okay. I was to say because right, that makes sense now. Got you. No excuses. You went for strongest lineup as possible. You still lost, so clearly something wrong, and definitely mentality. You've regressed from the last 2 seasons. I totally agree. You certainly had your chances. You have to put up away Martinelli, prime example. My total guess is that Kivior was supposed to start, and someone put on an offer in for him or something transfer related as he was taken. Hence why you can't tell us who it is. I can't tell you because I haven't been given the okay to tell you the 2 names, but it was definitely not that starting lineup yesterday. It was mad. But I was, to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised when I did see the starting lineup.
Oh, I was happy.
Yeah, I was happy, but that was not good. That Havertz chance too, says Tammy. What's your opinion, guys' opinions on Arteta? Are fans now turning? I'll quickly answer this. Yes, they are. Slowly, but they are turning. You saw it last night around the stadium, people calling Arteta out and all that kind of stuff. Also, Bobby, I've told you, having Spurs and Liverpool fans on the show brings bad luck to the team. We are partnered with all of them. So, yeah, in all fairness, we are partnered with them. So, I know what you want about that. It was your realistic chance of winning something with Arteta needed to do start the season. Premier League is unlikely. Champions League depends on the draw, but unlikely. FA Cup depends on draw. Arteta threw it away before. Also, Carabao was realistically the only trophy we could win. It's my fault I predicted Arsenal to win the league start of the season. Chris, your fault then, mate. I think it's poor for Arsenal at the moment this season. The season City fall off. Arsenal's still not top. That's poor for me. Totally agree. The tie is over for me. You needed to win at least by 2 goals to take. Yeah, I said that last night. 2 games over there, you have struggled there. You've got more defenders than midfielders and forwards. Yep. Bobby is on the payroll at Arsenal. That's why I can't tell you. I'm definitely not paid by Arsenal. Jesus. People say we're still in all competition, rightly so. But if this form continues, we'll be out of everything by the end of February. Big up to Newton. Yes, I agree. I do agree. Right. What I wanted to ask is how many at the time when Isaac went to Newcastle, because obviously Arsenal had the opportunity, but were not overly confident that it would work. How many of you wanted Isaac at the time that he left Sociedad? So I'll ask Steve. Would you have signed Isaac at the time?
No.
No. Tony?
Nope.
No.
Akpas?
No.
Okay. Gomza?
When I saw the Isaac driving license plate in London, I was very excited. I remember Gunnar King showed it to me when we thought he was in London. And yeah, I was excited. I think what's tending to happen with Arsenal at the moment is we turn our nose up at players because we look at goal scoring. Oh, he only scored 7 goals the season before and all that malarkey. But again, we have to take into account sometimes who the team plays for, what they're asked to do. Also, these players go to these teams, they have a great career, and then we go to try and sign them and you get priced out of it. So we do need to start going attacking these signings before they make the name for themselves, because otherwise we just never get them. Again, just say Isaac is to run his contract down, say in 2-3 years, we'll be looking at him, but Real Madrid will come. And you know Madrid's track record of taking people on a free or for next to nothing. They just blow us out the water, or players want to go to these teams. So yes, I don't want us to be a selling club, but we also need to get some of these players in through the door while we have the opportunity, because now we're looking at Isaac and we're talking 150 mil. Do you know what I mean? So I think sometimes we do need to not say lower expectations, but we can't. Sometimes we have to get the player on the up. We, as Arsenal, can't wait for them to be at the top of their game and then take them. We haven't. I don't think we've really signed a player who is that player who's sought after in the world for I don't know how many years. You look at some of our best signings, we grabbed them early. So you look at Henry, he wasn't really doing much in Italy at the time. Vieira's another one, Anelka. I would say maybe the 2 biggest names are maybe Overmars and Bergkamp. From a lot of our players who have been really successful have been relatively unknown. Look at Nasri, Cazorla, them guys wasn't big name players, do you know what I mean? So I feel it's just how we may have to do it. We just don't seem to be able to buy the Benzemas in their prime, or you know what I mean. Obviously we linked with Mbappe, which was never. Do you know what I mean? Those players just go past us. And Isaac will probably be another one now who will think, why would I move from Newcastle to Arsenal? I'm looking now for Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, one of those kind of teams who win their league more often than not.
Yeah.
At the time, though, at that time, I was pushing the Tony bandwagon. Remember, I was one of the first ones to be like, Ivan Toney, why don't we go for him back then? Now, I'm going to put this one to you guys. Would Ivan Toney have made a difference in this squad today?
I think
Look, players that would make a massive difference to this squad, in all honesty.
Fucking oath, right? Fucking oath he would have, right?
I think
We could have gone
Mbeumo
for
would make a
Vlahovic.
big
We
difference.
could have gone for
Yeah.
we could have gone for Vlahovic at the time. I was also Vlahovic. That's not a bad signing too back then. And even now, Vlahovic and Toney in this squad today, or not today, against Newcastle, let's say, would they have made a difference in this game?
So, as I said, this squad's
we should have done everything in the summer to get Jokeris, if I'm honest. But
Fuck
that's
it.
good.
Go for
That-
even that.
We're going to miss
Osimhen's
that.
another
now.
one.
We'll
Yeah.
miss that. The Osimhen one frustrates me because we
Loan.
spoke about this. He went to Galatasaray, and you telling me we couldn't get him.
So, Tony, and if we're looking at how last summer went for us, two of the strikers we've mentioned now on this stream were available up until transfer deadline day, and our manager and the guys in charge of our transfers decided not to go for either of them. And look who we got. We got Ryan Sterling, the supposed priority attacking signing, and he was on the bench yesterday. We needed a goal. Our manager
That was
decided-
reactionary, Akpos.
Yeah,
That was reactionary, Akpos.
Sterling
That
was
was
a panic.
reactionary. That was damage control, Akpos. That was damage control. So fuck, we didn't do our job. What do we do? Let's get Sterling. That
Yeah,
wasn't
panic.
you can see it, man. You can see it. Who the fuck
Bro.
wanted him anyway? You know, like he's shit.
Bro, it's a circus. It's a circus, honestly. What the piece of business we did last summer, I don't know how we pulled it off. Honestly.
I know. How could we
I
have
think
signed
what-
Mikel
I think-
Moreno? Wow. What a signing.
That business, that piece of business alone is enough to make heads roll, in my opinion. What we did last summer, it's enough to make heads roll. But maybe this is just me being emotional about it.
No, I when it comes to Mikel Marino, that is all on Arteta. Sterling was a reactionary signing because at the end of the day we were waiting for Nico, and Nico was just not giving us a full-on no, but he wasn't saying yes. It was just a horrible situation last summer with Nico, and he's still not doing it now. He's still undecided what he wants to do, but I can't see him leaving in January personally. So obviously Arteta goes with someone he trusts. He knows Sterling. I thought it might work, but unfortunately it hasn't, and it's a shame. I like Raheem personally, but
It's the hope that kills Bob. That's
it is.
Look, Bobby, I like Tony, but I don't want to see him playing an 11.
Yeah,
Right? Like,
I get
come
it.
on, mate.
Well,
you know.
Tony was never going to happen. Once he had the
No,
conversation.
I'm talking about
with
this Tony.
Oh.
Wrong Tony, mate. Wrong Tony, mate.
I thought you were about Ivan Toney, but no, Ivan Toney. Once he had the conversation with Mikel, that was never going to happen. He showed his true colours in that interview with Mikel, and it just never going to happen. Tony's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder. Not you, Tony. Ivan has got a bit of a chip on his shoulder, and I quite like it personally, but Mikel doesn't like that.
But let's bring up what you mentioned yesterday in our chat. You said we haven't got many bastards in our team now. We got
well, you could have put it a nicer way than what I put it yesterday.
No. So we're too nice.
We are.
We had a Bamiyang, we had Lacazette, we had even Guendouzi, whether you like him or not. And
My boy.
sometimes you're going to need players like that. So come on, you lot. You know, all you see is Odegaard just waving around. That's all he does. He does that, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we ain't
Traffic controller.
But as a fan base, though, this is sometimes
really replace them. You need fiery characters in your team, and who are the fiery characters? Like maybe Gabriel, maybe Saliba, but I'm talking about forward players that are gonna, you know, get stuck in, have a little dig. You know, we all get angry at players like Morpay and that, but actually, you do need players like that sometimes.
And if I want to come in, Tony, and something I noticed about how Newcastle set up yesterday, they set up with zero fear. They were not scared that we were going to hurt them offensively. That is something this Arsenal team is lacking. Besides Bukayo Saka, as an opposition defender, top quality opposition defender, do we have any other player that teams look at and they are afraid of offensively? Do we have any other player that teams will be scared of? Do we have any other in this team? And this is Arsenal Football Club we are talking about.
So this is where I've been commenting for a while. And again, I think people get me misconstrued when I say sometimes. Well, I know we all look at the striker, 999. I get it. We need a striker.
11 and 8. 11 and 8, man. 11 and 8.
What my point was, as I was saying in the group chat the other day, I think it was in our group chat, we need weapons from all over, because you bring, just say we bring in Osimhen. If Osimhen gets an injury tomorrow, we're still in the same situation. So this is why I say we need weapons all over. Where if Osimhen has a dip in form or gets injured, my left winger, my number 8, Saka, is still going to deliver numbers. And this is where we're falling short. It's not, because again, Saka is what he to me is world class. But he doesn't look it because teams put 3 men over there and say we're going to nullify you because I'm not scared of the other side. If we actually have a threat on the left, a threat from the 8, all of a sudden it actually creates more room for Saka to go and deliver. That's why Salah has a lot of space sometimes, because teams are scared of Jota, they're scared of Diaz, because you can't leave these guys alone for a second because they'll punish you. And that creates space for Salah. So I'm not saying we don't need a striker. I think we need way more than just a striker. And I think if the 8 contributes, if the 11 contributes a bit more, it actually takes some pressure off Havertz, because I don't think he's been all that bad. He's not the clinical striker we need. Don't get me wrong. And there's moments where I could say we need a fox in the box. But if everyone else is contributing a bit more, then actually it just takes the pressure off everybody. And this is where I think we fall short. And reference your comment just now about Guendouzi, Tony. If you don't remember, I was saying I like that kind of player in my squad, and everyone was against me when I was saying he's what someone I'll build around.
But that was one of them.
It's you need some. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of badness in that dressing room. I believe it was not badness, but there was a culture of you see them dancing, you see them singing. It's all fair and well when you're winning, but when you're losing, I don't want to see clips of you lot dancing. Like the culture did look bad. My argument with Arteta is he done the right thing, cleared it out, we rebuilt it. Now you need to start bringing them players in, because if your culture is strong enough, if you bring in a Guendouzi now, he has to abide by the rules that we set as such. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I think before there was too much player power. But this is where Arteta has to change some of his recruitment now, because we are stale. There's nobody who's going to do something out of the ordinary, and that's what we look. Again, it could be a Coutinho style player who pick up the ball from deep and beat 2 and get us up the pitch and let off a shot from 35 yards. We don't have one of those. We don't have a striker like a Suarez who, do you know what I mean? Again, when it's going against you, does something magical. Alexis Sanchez. Now, I don't know if there's many of them out there, but I think that's why Isak fits the bill for us more than, say, Gyökeres, because if you watch the second goal, Isak literally creates it for himself. He drops deep in a pocket, picks up the ball, turns, gets it back, half a yard and gets a shot off. And then obviously Gordon nicks in. And that's why I think Arteta likes Isak more than Gyökeres, because it looks like Gyökeres needs the service too.
I don't know if he likes Isak anymore after you pushed Odegaard.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. A bit of shithousery. That's what you need. And like
you do that as well. Ben White.
I had no problem with that goal. I saw a lot of gooners crying about, oh, it should have been a foul. No, Odegaard's too soft. And Isak, you need that sometimes. You need that. And I was okay with it.
No, I agree.
There's so many gaps in this squad, and I love it how you hit to the fact that we're missing the 11 and we're missing the 8. Yeah. I know number 9 is important. I know everyone's screaming number 9. Number 9. Cool story. Cool fucking story. Your 11 is useless. He's the one who's going to provide the number 9 with balls into the box. Okay? He's fucking useless. Your 8, all right, is supporting the 11 and supporting the 9. Useless. Okay, so now the left-hand side's completely fucked. You can get any number 9 under the sun. He's going to have to be fucking Thierry Henry to grab the ball from the defenders and run it straight through the middle of the park and score himself. That's how hard it's going to be at Arsenal. Very hard. Declan Rice is a great midfielder. He's not 8. Number 11 doesn't exist. Number 7, cool story, how he's going to come back. Just like Theo Walcott when he got his injury, when he came back, he missed a couple of yards of pace. So right now, as much as we want a 9, if we're going to get a 9, that's mad. But if we don't look at the 11 and the 8, those two positions, good luck next year. We're
Do you know what's mad though?
Agreed.
I saw a
Agreed.
stat from last night. I think it was Declan Rice. He created 5 chances to Odegaard's none. Like key passes. 5
pieces,
to
though, innit?
Odegaard's none. That's
That
mad.
might be corners, though, Tony.
Eh?
It might be corners.
Possibly.
It might be
The
corners.
thing is, the way we're playing now, we should be playing with 2 8s. Should be playing with 2 8 side by side. Odegaard and another number 8. Creative 8s,
Yeah.
right? With a
Yeah.
6 behind, right? And that's why Granit Xhaka did so good last time. Because he was playing like that 8 that could get into the box.
We are in a
Rice
world
is a
where
good
we can
midfielder.
Granit Xhaka. That's all I'm
And,
saying.
and
Yeah,
And
huh? Shit.
I think also that was one of the difference between us and Newcastle in that game. They were
Mhm.
playing with 2 8s and
Yeah.
the
Good.
CDM,
Thank you very much.
and we were playing with 2 number 6 and a central midfielder or a central attacking midfielder, in my opinion. So that alone tells you where the lack of creativity also is coming in that midfield. And John Linton, one of the 8s, is also somebody who also can play on the flanks.
Mm.
That's to tell you he's a more very offensive player. Even Tonali, the one they have playing the holding midfield role yesterday, can also play as a center midfielder. So it's not also a very defensive minded CDM in my opinion. So I think I agree with the very good points that Kelvin has raised now, and also what Steve has been saying, Tony and everybody has been saying. We need so much more. In all fairness, we
3
need so
players.
much more
At least 3.
offensively.
At least 3.
And these guys needs to be offensive signings. But from what I've seen, the trend I've seen so far, do we realistically trust Mikel Arteta as the man who would bring in these signings? I just wanted to ask you guys.
To
Okay, he's
me,
gonna go
because
sign Salgado.
I'm the one who I said there's an element of me still will give Arteta some time, and there's an element where I have to hold him accountable. His signings have not been good enough. And again, we are quite fortunate. We know a lot more behind the scenes from Bobby than a lot of people will see. So again, last year we had a lot of criticism on Edu, and then Bobby kind of clarifies actually Edu's doing what he can do. He's suggesting these players, and Arteta's one turning them down. We also know Marino and Havertz were very much Arteta signings. For me, he struggles with recruitment, and that's the one area where I will mark him very, very low. And actually, this could be where it cost him his job. When I look at even yesterday's performance, I don't think our performance was bad. Now, again, I think we talk from luxury because we've been good for the last 2 years, but I still remember going to places like Brighton and conceding 30 shots on our goal. So when I say performance, I don't think his performance is bad. We have a big, strong element of control, and as long as the players deliver, then we will win games. But at this moment, the players he's got in there can't deliver. It's not because they have an off game. Henry would have had off games, but it's all too often that Martinelli's not performing. So the system actually, I don't think it's broken. We're dominating most games. We're semi-creative. Like yesterday, Fulham game, we didn't create much, and that's why I say striker wouldn't help us. Yesterday, striker helps us because we created.
Exactly.
But I don't think the system's actually broken just yet. I just think the players he's got in the system aren't good enough to take us to the next level, and that's where he has to get the recruitment right now. Like, he's been ruthless with some players. Ozil got treatment, Aubameyang got treatment, Guendouzi got a treatment, Nuno Tavares, Sambi Lokonga, all those guys got treated.
I think you're missing one actually, Gamza. You're missing one. The one
Ramsdale.
I feel should be the benchmark of this discussion.
Ramsdale,
exactly.
Yeah, 100%. He was a starting player and then just got moved out. So he's shown he can do it. So actually, he needs to be now ruthless. You've brought in Marino. To me, it was a pointless signing because he doesn't do anything different that Rice can't do. So he doesn't elevate us defensively. He doesn't elevate us going forward. So that, to me, if it's not working, time to move on. Martinelli, again, thanks for the memories and that. He had a good season with us once. Maybe time to move on. And even that, if you're bringing players in, you should be bringing players in to demote Martinelli to the bench. So Martinelli's the benchmark. We can get second with Martinelli, but we can't get first. So actually, we need to bring someone that can get us first. And if they now get injured. Now Martinelli steps in. I've got no issues with that. So we don't want to sell him just yet, but we need to put someone above him who's better. And we can go for few players in that starting 11 at this moment in time. Again, Odegaard not performing as good as he can be. He needs to be recycled out for a bit and let him regain his form. Do you know what I mean? At the moment, it's like he's scared to drop 10 of the 11. So I'm not going to bring in anyone better than the 10 because it means that I've got to deal with one of them being upset. And I think that's the issue he's got now. He's not ruthless enough to say, you know, if you've got a problem, Gabriel, that's on you because I've brought in this left centre back who will replace you. Do you know what I mean? It's Calafiori's an easy signing because he could play 3 positions. So actually, I can just keep him rotating round a bit and set the nucleus of my squad. And I think that's where he may come unstuck because the quality is just not there behind that 11 if they're all performing at their best.
You all know why he's San Marino, didn't we? He's Spanish. His name's Mikel. He's got lovely hair.
So I don't know if you remember, Bobby. I remember when you said that Fabio Ruiz is getting links. Do you remember, Bobby? And I was like, that's who we should be getting over Marino. And I was adamant that's the one you go for because he's just got some attacking flair, which we lack.
Guess who didn't want Fabio? Guess who didn't want Fabio Ruiz, and who did?
Edu wanted him. I take it.
Yeah.
And he's alone as well. So.
And I said this right. Edu leaving just tells me all I need to know now.
Yeah.
You've got a midfielder who can't fucking pick a midfielder.
I know.
You've got a number 8, a guy who played 8, who can't buy a midfielder to save his fucking life. Like, listen to this for fucking stupid, right? Listen to this. This is real. Now I hope Josh or Stan watch this because just think about how much money you've spent and how much you've got from Mikel, right? You spent a lot of money. The Cronkies have spent so much money and they're still spending. But you've got yourself a manager who was a midfielder who bought Fabio Vieira and doesn't know what to do with him. Bought Mikel Moreno, who looks like a fucking Frankenstein in the midfield, in my opinion, right? And has Kai Havertz starting ahead of him. He gets rid of Granit Xhaka and can't even buy another number 8. He buys a fucking 6 to make him an 8. Who do you think you are? Arsene Wenger, right? The only midfielder that he bought, which was fucking fit for purpose, is Thomas Partey. And instead of playing him in a 6, he plays him in a fucking 2. Make it make sense. I got a midfielder who doesn't know what to do with the midfield. Defensively, yeah, all right. Forward, forget about it. Midfield, fuck me dead. Honestly, just think about it that way. You got a number 6 in Partey. You put him in a 6, sweet as can be. You put him in a 2. You put him in a 2. Like... and then I got Zinchenko. I got Zinchenko, who played left back at Man City because he had nowhere else to play. Plays better in the midfield. He plays left back. What are you fucking stupid, man? Like what? Make it make sense.
You can't, mate. Right, before I go into the actual game stats as well, I want to go through the comments again because it's been bored up. Big up to Arsenal above all, saying, good morning, all. Do you think the players actually enjoy playing under Arteta anymore? They look devoid of any enthusiasm and look like an army football team. I'm not going to say any comment on this because I'll get in trouble. So I'll ask Gumza first.
I think it must be frustrating. I think the biggest criticism of it for me, I've got no issue when we build up sometimes. Teams are low blocking more than often. Again, I think if you think back to 2 years ago, teams used to full on press us waiting for a mistake. And it used to come from Xhaka. And then we moved into the 8 and said, you get out of the way and we'll release you. And then you go forward and do what you got to do. And it worked really well. I think teams respect us a bit more now where they don't press us the same way. However, my biggest criticism of this system is the work he makes Saka and Martinelli do. And I think that's the problem we got. There's a break yesterday. I think Odegaard had the ball and he took off. And he looked forward, and there's no one. And he's on the halfway line, by the way, after covering 15, 20 yards running. There's no one in front of him. And he has to, I think he gets fouled in the end, but it's that lack of trust in your defense. So you signed all these defenders, trust them. Let Saka cheat. Let Martinelli, he's quick, let him cheat. So then actually we can counter. Because all of a sudden that puts fear in defenders. And what I think Akpor said it, Newcastle don't look scared of us. And why would you be scared? I can squeeze you as high as we want because there's no threat behind. Only once Martinelli got in. And I think actually if we pose a threat the other way, so if we say actually Saka cheat, and pose a threat, all of a sudden teams will say, oh, hold on, we can't push like we want to because they've got 2 men that's by the halfway line who are going to counter on us. And it changes the whole opposition's mindset because now you're wary of what we're doing. You've seen on set pieces, teams are trying different things. So they're going man for man more, or they'll even free up the pitch to say, Arsenal, you've got to leave 4 back. So it's a game of cat and mouse sometimes. And I think he's taken that out of our play of becoming a threat on the counter. Yes, we're going to have to build up through the channels more times than not because teams are going to bank in. But when teams do come forward, that's our time to kind of pick them off. And that's how you then score your second and third goal. And that's why we struggle to score more than 2 or more than a goal now unless we go behind first, because once we score 1, it's back behind the ball and then there's no quick transition, and it is killing us in all honesty. So I think there needs to be some restraint taken off. Again, players have to be braver, but at the same time, just let one of them cheat. Just let one player cheat. Go 9 men behind the ball, leave 1 at the pitch, and let's see what we can do for a bit, because it is getting a bit too predictable. And I think teams are now thinking, actually, we push them back. They can't now get over the halfway line, and then we could get back in our positions, and it's easy to defend. So, yeah, we need to change something.
Okay. Steve, what about you?
What was the question?
Oh, do you think the players are enjoying playing under Arteta anymore?
Yeah. I mean, I think the players, they enjoy the fact that when they come in, they don't know where they're going to play. So it's like duck, duck, goose to find out where you're going to play. It's exciting. Serious. It's great. It's like, what are we doing today? Duck, 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 goose. You're the striker. And Ray is looking at me like, are you fucking serious? Yep, you get to play number 9 today. Yay. But no, I think, let's be serious. Like, I think every single one of these players right now is looking at Arteta and realizing a lot about him, that he hasn't got enough depth. A little bit egotistical, arrogant to an extent. And the players themselves, they can probably see the problems.
Yeah.
They probably want to play a certain way, but they've been told not to.
Mm-hmm.
The old Arsene Wenger let a player express himself. There is no expression at Arsenal here. Don't get me wrong. The manager is managing the way he wants. He wants them to play a certain way. And they are doing as he says. And it isn't working. And when it isn't working, they are looking to the bench. They are looking to him because he's the one who's created this masterpiece and saying, what are the final brushstrokes? Because we can't get through, and he is left wanting. That's not going to instill faith in a team that said, we're going to do what you want. Yeah. If that makes sense,
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
I just believe that in some instances, if you're going to control a team this much, you better have a plan B and a plan C when they look to the bench. You really have to have a lot of depth, because it can't be just a one-man band and it's going to be this way or no way. So I think a lot of these players now are asking questions. I think Trossard is probably going to be one of them that's going to be like, this is fucking bullshit. And I know Declan Rice right now is probably trying to figure out what his role actually is at Arsenal, including Thomas Partey. I think the midfield at the moment, and Odegaard being overplayed, there's going to be a lot of question there. I think the only players that are going to be half happy are going to be the defenders. But the midfield and front line, I think they're going to be a bit disenchanted.
Martinelli must be happy because he must realise he's not good enough to be playing at this level, and he's still starting week in, week out. So
he's lucky to fucking start for Millwall.
I just
Wimbledon.
Before I ask Tony the same question, are you surprised that last summer we turned down 50 million for Martinelli?
How much?
Over 50 million. I'm not going to say the exact amount, but over 50 million for Martinelli last summer.
Be lucky
because Arteta did not want to sell him.
It's a madness.
What did he do last season to keep him?
And if we are taking the offer that was placed on the table, we could have had a couple of more millions to get a level raiser in the same position.
Nico Williams.
Nico, there you go.
Exactly.
Subject because Nico, it wasn't for not wanting him, is it? So we could have sold Martinelli, still might not have got him, because from what Bobby's saying, it's him who didn't decide to come out. So we had the money.
Lost a bit more moolah, he would have come.
And last summer there was also talk of the Napoli winger. There was also talk of being unsettled. Yeah. I'm just saying, are we really pressing hard for the top guys? This is my bone of contention here. Are we really pushing hard for these A-listers?
I can come back on
Yes.
this. Can I say one thing, Bart?
Yes,
Can I just
mate.
jump
Yes,
in?
mate.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Akfos, I think we are pushing for the top guys, but I want to ask you a question. Do you think the top guys want to play with Mikel Arteta?
I don't.
Do you think they want to come to Arsenal with this idiot in charge?
Bro, if I am one of those A-listers right now, there's no way I want to play for Mikel Arteta.
Here you go, my guy.
No way.
Fuck that shit.
Because if the way we are playing right now, if he brings in an attacking player with so much flair, Mikel Arteta's requirement from that player, we kill the player's flair. Because Kamza was just saying, our attackers are not attacking with so much freedom we saw them attacking in the 2021 season. And the most painful part of it is we have a solid backline. We have a very good number 6. Why not trust the number 6 and the backline to get business done? I think I'm up for it, for asking offensive player to contribute their own quarter defensively. I'm up for it. But if these requirements will kill that offensive drive, that offensive contribution they would bring to the team, then you must relax it a little bit. I think he has tinkered too much with the system that we have lost that attacking threat and that flair we saw some of our wingers playing with. This has to be down to the manager and what he's asking these guys to do.
No, I agree.
And
also,
and
some
this
of
is
the,
not a
I think
problem that's
personnel.
associated with just Mikel. This is something I've seen with some of these younger managers doing right now. I think they tend to complicate some of these positions too much. For me, as a number 9, as a striker, your primary duty is to put the ball on the back of the net. Every other thing is a bonus. But we have our strikers dropping so deep down in our half. And
This is where, again,
when you need them at the other end to put the ball on the back of the net, we can't find them anymore.
Of course, this is for me where the rest of the team need to help. So the game, who do we play on the weekend? Brighton. There was a stage we couldn't get the ball past the halfway line, and then Jesus came and got it and transitioned us and and then we went forward. And this is half the issue. And this is where the 8's so crucial for me. This is why Cazorla was one of my favourites for a long time. Wiltshire over Ramsey.
We played with 3 DMs though, didn't we, that game?
Yeah, we played Rice in there, but it sometimes needs somebody who can take the ball under pressure and turn and go. And
look at Odegaard, what he's doing. He's supposed to be an offensive threat, and Odegaard, how many times has come back all the way, almost back to the number 2 to pick up the ball? That's how far he has to come back to pick up the ball, and that's another player who's supposed to be like. And sometimes I feel for him because I know he's off form, but as a midfielder, you know how midfield's hard. Like midfield's a very hard position to play, right? It's very grueling. But when you've got a guy who's playing like number 8, 10, having to come all the way back to the number 2 to pick up the ball, drive it past the halfway line and create something, then continue his fucking run so he can collect it and try and distribute again. That's a lot of work. And fend off defenders left and right. The same thing with Partey. Partey played shit in this game. But where was he playing previously to this game? The last game, where was he? What position? Can someone tell me? Where did he play?
Right back.
Last
right
game.
Back.
Right back. So what? And when he was trying to defend Mitoma, right? How much did he fucking destroy himself trying to keep up with him? Right? He wrecked himself to fucking defend that right-hand side. Now he comes in to play this game. Now he gets to play in the 6. Oh, he didn't play good. He's fucking destroyed from playing 2. He's wrecked. He's gone. Same thing with Odegaard. Wrecked, having to come this far back. It's your point, Akpos. Some of these players have to sit forward. Ozil had to sit forward a little bit. Odegaard should not have to come back all the way to the number 2 to pick up the fucking ball.
Exactly.
We need to be able to build up play from the back. If they're going to come all the way back, it's to defend, but not every single time to start an attack, to start a second phase, that the number 10, 8 has to come all the way back, pick it up and drive it forward. Come on, what are your wingers doing? What are they doing? There has to be more to it. You can't expect your midfield to work this hard to start an attack, only for them to get to the other side. And because they had to drag it all the way from where the number 2 is and bring it all the way into the final third, the other team defensively is sound now. They're dead straight. It's basic football. You got to fucking make sure the defenders are crisscrossed. But when the number 10 is all the way back here, by the time he brings it forward, the defensive line is straight. So we're never going to be we're not going to be a threat on the counter. We're going to look for the perfect fucking goal, just like we used to with Arsene Wenger, where we pass the ball into the back of the net. That's not going to happen. We want to play with speed, but we're not playing in that fashion. We're playing in a fashion where it's slow build-up play, and slowly but surely we'll get a goal. Not really. Not when you don't have an attacking threat. And even then, it's going to be hard. If you put Isak into this team right now, he's going to struggle. He's going to struggle. You know why he's going to struggle? Because Gordon is on one side, Murphy's on the other side. Speed, speed, speed. What do we have? Fuck all. So what's he going to do? He's going to receive the ball and no one will be there. 2 defenders on him, he's done. Our style of football is a bit wrong, guys. It is a little bit how you're going. It's square pegs, round holes. Odegaard needs another fucking midfielder beside him, right? He needs another midfielder beside him that's good on the ball and can pass it. So when he sits back, when he comes back to collect the ball, he's got Aseni Cazorla up front that he can distribute to and break down the opposite fucking side.
Exactly.
Oh, but that would be the left, right? Where the 11 should be. Exactly where we need another player. An 8 and 11. And honestly, you could have Giroud in the middle with an 8 and 11. He'd fucking score. No, I'm sorry, I'm losing my shit. But it's so fucking obvious that we need an 8 and 11 that even I can fucking see it. And this fucking moron who used to be a midfielder can't.
It's signed to left back again.
Well,
yeah, he will. No, Declan Rice is going to be the new left back now, because if Thomas Partey plays right back, Declan Rice has to play left. Oh, fuck.
I'm going to keep the summer chancellor talk out the window for the moment because it will upset some more people. Tony, back to this question. Do you think the players are in...
I'll be very quick because I know you want to move on.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
No, it's all good. All I will say is I agree with what most are saying. But I think they do. I think they do like playing under him. But I think over the next few games, the next few weeks, you look at the games we got ahead, that will tell. We got United in the Cup this weekend. Then we've got Spurs and Villa. And they're all at home, by the way. So I think those 3 could be telling. So I'm going to wait and answer the question after that.
Yeah, well, the next time that we're away, you're actually at my home. I think you're playing at Wolves, aren't you? So, interesting. Akpos, so quickly for you as well, please, mate. I don't want to miss you out as well. So, do you think the players are happy playing under Arteta? Have I lost Akpos again?
You pissed him off by just asking that question.
I'm sorry.
Bobby, you'd think you'd be a little bit considerate. For God's sake, mate.
I'm such a horrible host, aren't I? I know.
Everyone in Arsenal, just evil.
Yeah, he's dropped out. So we'll move on. Big up to Ryan. This was obviously regarding Isak. He did think that we were going to sign him. I think we should have personally, but there we go. Yes, agree 100%. We were snobbish with Nico Williams as well. We're not. We would sign him in a heartbeat if we actually got the thumbs up. But he'd also have to reduce his wage demands because they are ridiculous. Like he is demanding stupid amounts of money. I don't see anyone paying the price for him right now because of his wage demands. The only team I can see doing it, which will upset Arsenal fans again, is Liverpool. Because if they lose Salah, let's say if they lose Salah, they would be able to afford him. Because they would just pay him what he wants, which is 300,000 a week, which I'm not paying that for him, I'll be honest.
Fuck off.
Yeah,
no, fuck that.
It's too much for me.
Get Lookman. Fuck it.
I'm not going to comment on Lookman. I begin to lose my mind with Mikel and the owners seeing too many repeats from the back end of Wenger's time. Currently, I can't put the owners in the blame for this, if I'm honest. Last summer, we signed... not we, as in we. Josh signed a deal to say £450 million can be spent if you do this, do that, and do that. So It's all on Mikel because Edu did everything. Jason did everything. Jason's working his little socks off right now as well. What I have, because this has literally just come through. So Vlahovic will not be moving in January because there's a meeting in February regarding his contract situation. He might move in the summer for, I think it's 54 million quid. So that's one to keep an eye on for the summer. But I've always said that it's going to be 2 game changers coming in the next 2 windows. So that'll probably be one this window and then next window. So I think it will be a winger stroke forward this window and then a striker in the summer window. That's how I'm looking at it at the moment. So I can't put the owners to be blamed because they've done everything, and they're not going to sack Arteta, who's Arsenal second. We're still
Not now.
No, they're just not going to sack it.
It'll be
Stupid.
It was stupid.
Absolute PR bloody nightmare if we just sack him now.
It'll be a summer thing.
It will be like I said earlier to you guys. It will be parting of the ways. There'll be no sacking. There'll be no resigning. It will be a parting of the ways. If
you got to do it clean, it's about the brand. It's about the product, guys.
Exactly.
Come on.
Big up to Delta 384. I wanted Isaac to Arsenal in the same sense that I wanted Vlahovic, Gyökeres, Tony, etc. He was on my list. I just want any striker. I certainly didn't know he was going to become this player. There was a lot of hope that he would, but I suppose what was the release clause? Something like 80 million, wasn't it? Something stupid. And it was a lot. Don't get me wrong, it was a lot of money. But if it pans out, which it has, you then get £150 million striker. So it makes sense at the end. But you have to take these risks. And Arteta is not a risk taker. And that's a big problem. Like, we're looking at a young lad, Costa Rica. And I think Cole put it in the chat the other day. I did mention it in one of my voice messages. Costa Rican from Spartak Moscow. This kid looks special. I think his name's Gaude or something like that. I can't remember his name exactly. I think it's a Gaude, but he's one of those risky ones, but it will cost probably about 25, 30 million. Not a huge risk. But again, Mikel's like, I don't know. But that then puts, and I'm sorry, Gumzo, I know you really love Arteta and all that, but I question his ability to improve a player. That's my biggest question on Arteta. I don't think he has the ability to improve a player. Yeah. That's and for me, that's a big fundamental issue. He's good at setting us up, and we have got a good defensive structure. But when it goes to forward, I'm like, what the fuck? Because yes, we get a lot of chances, but we, like last night, 23 shots and only 3 on target. And I have asked the coaches some of this. What are we doing in training to actually improve us putting chances away? We do this all the time that everyone scores, do they? Well, how come they don't do it on a match day then? Because it ain't bloody working. I think that might be. Sorry,
Bobby.
No, carry on, mate.
And this is again, it's just fine margins, and we would never know. Again, you'd probably know more than anybody else, just the position you sit in. But is it Arteta or is Martinelli just reached the ceiling? Where I will give Arteta a lot of flack is he still persists with Martinelli, even though it's not working. Again, if especially looking at improving players, I would look at, say, age group. So Trossard, how much more can you improve Trossard when we signed him at 27? Was it when he came through the door?
Yeah,
27, 28.
Yeah.
How much could you really improve Trossard? Maybe not much, and he's probably stayed at the same level since he's come. But the ones you're looking at, Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, Gabriel Saliba, these are the ones he can improve. Do you know what I mean? Because they're at that age where they're on their development curve still.
Yeah.
I would say it's 50-50 in all honesty. I think from the Odegaard we saw on loan to the Odegaard we see most weeks now, he's definitely improved. But again, is it just because Odegaard was going to be this Odegaard anyway? And this is where I can't give the credit sometimes because it's not like he's plucking, I don't know, let's say Reece Nelson, who was kind of in limbo, and all of a sudden Reece Nelson becomes the new Saka. Then you can say Arteta's had a... Again, it's the same thing with City. Leroy Sané is probably always destined to be Leroy Sané. Do you know what I mean? It was, yes, you have to put them in position and help them along the way, but the cream will always rise to the top. And I think sometimes we put too much emphasis on a manager of he's done this, he's done that, and actually not enough sometimes on the player. It's no secret why Ronaldo is Ronaldo, because he works fucking hard, harder than anybody else off the pitch to become who he is. Some are naturally gifted, like Hazard, like Messi.
Yeah.
Some have to work that a bit harder. So sometimes I think we put too much emphasis. I think what we need to look at Arteta is he's still playing these players who aren't playing very well and trusting them, and that's his biggest problem. Is it Martinelli may not develop to anything more. Rashford's another one. Like there's something in there, but more often than not, we see there's not anything there. Do you know what I mean? He has one good season, two or three bad. So he's probably playing at his optimum peak when he has that great season. He's never going to kick on to more than that. And again, if you sign a Rashford, now I'm looking at Arteta to think this potentially is a bad signing because he might give you one season out of 3 or 4, and that's not what we need right now. So I think it's sorry, I keep going on. Let me leave it there.
That's right. No, mate, that's fine. This is therapy session now. Akpos, because you're back. I can't remember what the question was. Oh, do you think the players are happy playing under Arteta at the moment? That was the question.
Well, I think I touched a little bit on that because of how he has complicated some of these roles, some of the responsibilities he is asking some of these players to do. I think it needs to go back a little bit to what it was asking these guys to do in the 2021 season, in my opinion. But I know that it's a lot more different now because teams are sitting, playing us with a low block. But it just needs to allow some of these attacking players play with a little bit of more freedom. Let them do more on the offensive side, in my opinion, and take away some of these defensive responsibilities for some of these key guys that you would need to be in those dangerous positions. I think if he asks these guys to do that a little bit more, maybe we might see a little bit better in terms of the performances. And one of the things I need Mikel Arteta to stop doing, it's to stop asking Thomas Partey to play on the as a right back. I don't think Thomas Partey is enjoying his football as a right back. He needs to have him in his best position as a number 6. I also do not think Declan Rice is enjoying playing more as a number 8. He's not a number 8. He's also a number 6. So I think Mikel Arteta is asking some of these players to play in some of these positions that they don't have the best quality to execute his game planning. And that is costing this team. A lot of the games where we have dropped points, he has moved Thomas Partey away from his best position as that number 6 to right back. I know he's trying to solve a problem, but why do you need to solve a problem and create a problem elsewhere?
So it would create a problem elsewhere anyway, Akpos, because if we've got 3 right backs, we've got Timber, Tomiyasu, Ben White. All 3 are injured or one was suspended. So somebody has to go there. So yes, I agree. We've got 2 left backs in Lewis Skelly and Calafiori. So maybe try Lewis Skelly. I agree with you. But again, if you look at the midfield, do you put Lewis Skelly in a position where he may be uncomfortable? Or do you say, right, Rice and Marino, you're my centre midfield. So actually, Partey, we're going to make you do the role. So again, I would try Lewis Skelly there for a game and see how it goes. I don't like Partey at right back, but sometimes it's needs must, isn't it? Injuries. I don't think Arteta goes into the season thinking he's going to be playing Partey right back for 7, 8 games in the season. I think we've just been unfortunate with some of those issues.
But the plan B to this is he's got Jorginho, who's sort of a 6, Declan Rice, who's more of a 6, Thomas Partey, who is a 6, Mikel Moreno, more likely an 8-6. How many has he got? All the same. Now, if you're going to go down on the back line and you lose a right back, maybe you use your brains a little bit, and you think to yourself, maybe it's an opportunity I play 3 in the back and stack the midfield since I bought so many fucking 6s.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, because if I put that many 6s in the midfield, the midfield becomes a fucking brick wall. You can't break it down. You're going to have to lob the ball over the top of them every single bloody time. Every single one of them is strong, and you can hope and pray. I mean, if you're going to buy this many 6s, you're obviously trying to build a skyscraper in the midfield.
My question back to that is, and this is what I was talking to a guy yesterday, is the problem when Partey plays right back, is Partey the problem at right back, or is the problem in centre midfield? And again, this is where it goes back to recruitment more than the Partey at right back for me. So you're bringing in these players to do what Partey does, and none of them are able to do it. So is the problem for you guys that Partey is playing right back because he's a terrible right back and we're getting punished on the right hand side, or is it because when Partey comes out of centre midfield, we haven't got the players in the midfield to do what Partey does?
It's because when Partey leaves the midfield, the quality of play drops automatically in that midfield, in my opinion.
Right, 100%. So this is what I was saying to my friend yesterday. problem then isn't Partey being our fourth choice right back. Problem is the players you recruited to play in the sixth when Partey's not there have not been good enough, and that's where again recruitment plays a big part. Because as I spoke to my friend yesterday, if you talk, our best midfield is at the moment Partey, Rice, Odegaard. If you have to put your hat on who's going to get injured and miss more games out of those three, all of us will say Partey. So when you're buying Merino, rather than buying Merino to be a backup for Rice, we should be buying them the six to be as good or better than Partey, because more than likely Partey's not going to be playing number 6 much because of injuries. Normally this year it's because of right back injury. So again, this is where the recruitment for me was wrong, because we've seen it in the last 2 years when Partey's not playing or he isn't playing well, we struggled. So for me, that is the position where you need to address the most, rather than back up for Rice, because again, you had ESR who could do an okay job. Havertz you actually brought to play the role. So Partey coming
Where
out
does Rice play?
Exactly.
I actually don't know his position right now, because in the six,
see.
what
Yeah,
Partey
see, now watch
offers
this. Now watch me counter you on this one. Now Partey's replacement was Declan Rice.
Yeah,
True.
and it hasn't worked. And it hasn't
And
worked.
it hasn't
So we
worked, right?
score-
But you know what it will work? You know when it will work? When you get me an 8, a real 8, a full-time 8, like Odegaard, to play there, yeah? And then Declan Rice hasn't got that much emphasis on him. And even then, you wouldn't need a Partey,
So this
because
is
you've got an
this is-
avenue to distribute. You don't have one now. You've only got to the right.
This is where you're in agreement with me, because again, regardless of where you put Rice, if the problem is when you take Partey out from the 6, we lose something. We need to find that. We need to fix that, because we've been lucky with Partey this year. He hasn't been injured. So if either you buy the better 8 or you buy the better 6, but Marino was the
Barella.
right fit.
You buy a Barella, you put him in as the 8, and I'm happy.
Yeah, 100%. And this is where
Give me that. Give me that.
But all I'm saying is, because we keep saying about Partey going right back, which is not by choice. But again, if the recruitment was correct, Partey going right back shouldn't make much of a difference, because on normal seasons, Partey wouldn't be playing this much anyway in centre midfield, because for the last 2-3 years, we've seen Partey 40% of the time, because he's been so injured. So we've been lucky we've actually got to see Partey so much in the 6 this year. But actually, if history repeats itself, he might get injured tomorrow and we don't see him for the rest of the season. So the recruitment has been incorrect in that position, because we really should have gone into this year. We should have gone into this year thinking we might not see Partey much. Who's the player that's going to sit in there if he's not available, that we're not going to lose and drop the standard from a 8 to a 6? And that's the problem. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's Rice and a better 8 or a better 6 and Rice, that's where the fall off is for me in our recruitment this year. So I just
maybe
man
management as well.
Yeah, everything goes into it. It's not one perfect fix in it, but
There's so many different things there.
Yeah, we keep saying Partey going right back.
And I wanted to come in for something, because I think the injury with Ben White was something that Mikel Arteta and our medical team knew of from last season, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this was me thinking yesterday. If that was something Mikel Arteta and our medical team were aware of, and we know that Ben White could potentially need surgery, and since Orian Timber is somebody who could play as a left back and as a right back, why did we not go out there to get in a right back? Because we know that Tomiyasu is not reliable. Why did we not go out there to get in a right back instead of getting a left back in Calafiori?
Because Lewis Skelly still wasn't proven.
And this is my concern. This is my concern also. We had Orian Timber who could deputize at left back. You have Zinchenko who can play as left back. You have Kiwior who can play as left back. And still we went out there to bring in Calafiori. And we know that Ben White was going to be out potentially. And that leaves you with just Orian Timber. And that is the squad imbalance we are talking about, in my opinion.
That's a good point.
So I think we should have gone out there. We should have gone out there to bring in a right back. A right back was more needed than going out there to bring in Calafiori.
Not really, because if everyone's fit, then right, we're covered. again, I get it.
And
You-
then you're coming if
hold on.
everyone is fit. You're coming if,
Yeah,
if everyone is fit. We know going into this season that Ben White
needed
was
both
not going
ends.
to be fit. We knew
Yeah,
We
it.
needed both ends. We needed both ends. We needed a left
you
and
have-
right. We needed both ends.
If you think of the long term, left
Yeah.
as well. Because again, if a big coming for Zinchenko, we'd take it. If someone comes for Kivio, we'd take it. So they're not
Yeah.
long term solutions. So you're saying
Yeah,
Lewis
about
Yeah,
Tierney
true.
as well, by the way.
and Tierney.
True,
Yeah,
yes.
all three
Tierney
of
as
them,
well. Yeah.
all three of them will be happy to see the back of.
how
The
no
right side,
Okay.
the right side, we got obviously White and Timber. So if they bring in a fourth, because you still got Tomiyasu now with Ben White, I think we're managing him until Tomiyasu's back. Tomiyasu breaks down again, and I think that's now your problem. Tomiyasu's now your problem, isn't it? So
exactly.
again, I understand why we didn't go and buy a right back because now you've got four who, again, if you keep Tomiyasu, you got four right backs. You don't need four right backs. I think the left side.
Oh man, we need at least
problem
4
for a
right
long
backs, 7 left backs, no strikers, no wingers, 7
Fullback
goalkeepers.
FC,
And you know what we do?
fullback
We just sit
fullback.
in the back.
Gamza. I think this one is very difficult to defend in my opinion because
No, listen, if you're building a
and-
squad, you're building a
another,
squad.
another reason why I think it's very difficult in my opinion. It's Urian Timber we know he's top there when he plays at right back also. But me is a very versatile player. I think we needed because looking at our squad and what we had at our disposal, I think we needed a right back specialist more than we needed to bring in Ricardo Calafiori, in my opinion. Because we had players who could come in there and get the job done. But now with White, with a White procedure, it leaves us with just Orion Timber playing a right back. Anything happens to Orion Timber, we are forced to bring in a solution, which has been moving Thomas Partey out of his best position, and it has not done us any good.
I understand what you're saying. I do get it. But again, if you bring in a right back and you now play Timber left, you're still in the same situation as such, isn't it? Because if someone breaks down, you can't, like, injuries happen. We've been lucky for a couple of years. We haven't really had that many. This year, we're getting hit left, right, and centre. You got to think, we had all of our left backs were out at one stage. Hence why we were playing White and Timber at the start of the season. Like we've had a lot of injuries in them positions, and it's almost a blessing we've overstepped in defence. Even though we all moan about defenders getting signed, it's been a saving grace at the same time. But I get you. I'm with you. Like the whole squad, we do need it, but we need to move on from the Tomiyasu's and guys like that.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing as well.
But again, the same as Tierney. Tierney was on the way out and then pulled his hamstring in the Euros. So now he's in the squad still. So again, Arteta has shown before he's been ruthless where he says, you know what, you're just not a part of the 25. Because he's done it with Ozil, whereas he can essentially just do that with your Tierney's, do that with your Tomiyasu now. Say, do you know what, we've got the finances. And what Bobby says, PSR is not a problem. We have 400 million. So if it means we just go and get the right back and just say to Tomiyasu, do you know what, I'm taking the shirt number. And when you're fit, you're free to leave. Maybe we need to be ruthless like that again with some of these players because you're right. We can't keep relying on people who have been breaking down constantly. And this is why I'm saying about Partey as well. We've been lucky this year. He hasn't broken down yet. But if the last 3 years are to go by, he's due to break down at some stage. You know what I mean? Fingers crossed he doesn't. But what we're going to do, let him break down and say, oh, Partey's injured again. No, we should have brought in the right replacements.
Like,
I think we already have Partey's replacement. That's what Steve was saying. We already have Partey's replacement in Declan Rice.
Yeah, but then from last season when Partey wasn't playing, Jorginho done okay, but Rice but you remember there's one game he played Jorginho. He started Jorginho in the 8th, didn't he, last season? And Rice in the 6th.
That was fucked.
He swapped it. So again, he wasn't happy with something. So again, you wasn't quite sure. You've taken a chance on Mourinho, it hasn't worked. This is where you need to be ruthless. Go and get somebody else because it's not working. Do you know what I mean? This is where I think we need the ruthlessness. Like we're saying, we want us to take risk in transfers. Bobby's just mentioned the name of someone none of us know. Take your risk. Fabio Vieira is a risk. If it hasn't worked, move on. Because
why can't it just be horses for courses? Why does it have to be a risk? If we need an 8, sorry to cut you off. If I need an 8, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go buy an 8.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at. Yeah, I understand that, but I'm not going to go and buy a 6 and try and make him an 8.
I do agree. Right? I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree.
So exactly. Horses for courses at the end. So right now, if the idea, and I'm pretty sure this is him, because this is the only thing that makes any sort of sense in £100 million signing of Declan Rice, is, yes, he's not the best DM, but with 2 8s in front of him, I need to get myself an 8. Hence the reason why we got that fuckwit Moreno, right? He was thinking, yay, he's going to be beside fucking Odegaard and it's going to be wonderful. Bullshit. So now, if we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace Thomas Partey with Declan Rice, I'm for it. I'm fine with that. But if I'm going to go and get an 8, or he's going to go and get an 8, why can't he go and get an 8 that's proven, an 8 that is quality, and an 8 that's been, that we scout and fits the mold? Why do we have to go and get a Moreno who was shit at Newcastle, bring him in and say he's going to be good? And how old is this fuckwit?
28.
He doesn't even fit the age fact. I mean, I know Partey's not young, but Partey's still pulling a shift. It really pisses me off because it looks like that's what he wants to do. But when it came to the final piece of the puzzle, we decided to go for something that was so ineffective that he sits on the bench most of the time. And now we're in this transfer window, right? And it looks like to me that we're still not going to fix up the problem of 8. We're going to go and try and sticky tape a winger, right? And that's not going to be enough. I'm telling you now, if he doesn't buy an 8 and an 11, he's fucked. He's fucked sideways. It's not even going to be funny. It's going to be fucking horrible because we don't have the fluidity on the left for this reason. Look at the build-up play. Job. Look at Odegaard on the right-hand side. Him, Saka, and Yuri and Timber. We all get it, right? Now, on the left-hand side, who is it?
The design, just quickly, we almost isolate 1v1 on the left-hand side. And
fucking horrible, isn't it?
Now you need a better
it
level.
Shuts down.
Because
this is where, but
1v1 against his fullback, and he doesn't do anything with it.
Even if I threw Trossard in there, with a real 8, even if I threw Trossard in there with a proper number 8, a number 8 who's influential, who can go forward and can play a ball, Trossard would be better. Trossard would be better than Martinelli now. Trossard. He's not great, but he'd be better. But we're missing 2 key players here. And we already bought one. We already bought one that was supposed to be the 8, side by side Odegaard. There's no doubt in my mind that Marino was supposed to be part of the 11, not a fucking bench player. I really believe that he brought him in to start him. Now, if it doesn't work, what's the plan B? That's my problem now.
The same way he bought Kai Havertz to start.
Yes, it didn't work. What do you do? So what are you supposed to do, right? As a manager, I bought him to be my 8 beside Odegaard. If that doesn't work, what do I do? Oh, no, it's going to work. What if it doesn't? And that's why we're left wanting now. Because when it doesn't work, I'll play Rice in the 8. Come on, man. Partey's a good 6. Odegaard's a good 8. Rice is not really an 8. You're throwing him under the bus. Throwing Rice under the bus like this.
There's no risk. So I've called it a few times. I'll try Jesus in 8 just to give it a try. Like, there's been times we've stumbled upon things by luck. So
got to try something.
Havertz being our 9, it was not a stumble. We know he could play up front, but he came in to be the 8. Jesus got injured. Havertz went up there. All of a sudden, it looked like, oh, we found another way of doing something. It was working better. Cazorla was playing on the wing mostly for us, and then he ended up as a DM because of injuries, and he's playing next to Coquelin. Next thing you know, we had our best partnership for a long time. For me, try something different. If it's not working,
could even try Ethan when he was fit. Yeah, you could have even tried Ethan just for shits and giggles. Yeah. It can't be worse.
He's injured now.
Yeah, you know why? Because they decided to take a midfielder and play him on a wing.
Let's not do that.
Right, guys. I want to get into the stats, so I want to get through this.
I've been reading the comments. It's so funny. Yeah, Bobby, I'm glad you're okay, mate. I'm glad you're okay.
No, so I've had a delivery. I've been checking my work feed. It's been fine. I've been fine. Funny enough,
he's been sending the link to Josh to watch so he can see what it's really about. And Josh is going, fuck, they're right. Got to get him on the payroll.
Josh is probably sat there going.
To be honest, mate, you would agree with most of this. Right, before I get into the comments again, Steve, you brought up a point about number 8. Right, the number 8 situation. Marino was Arteta's desire. However, if Adam Wharton hadn't signed for Crystal Palace last January, he would have been our number 8 last summer. And obviously, he went to Crystal Palace, so we couldn't get him. So next summer, well, this summer, I should say. Adam Wharton will probably be high on our wanted list. So would you be happy with Adam Wharton as the number 8? And please tell me you know who he is first.
I know who he. I know who he
Some
is.
people don't know who he is, so that's fine.
I know who he is, but I know who he is, but does that make me a title contender?
Nah.
That's my problem. No, that's the kind of player that I'd say I'd love to come off the bench and get rid of Jorginho, right? And get rid of Moreno, right? But I want an 8, right? I want a Barella. That's who I want. If you're going to be a man and you want to fucking win the league, you go and get Barella. You put him in as number 8. You know what happens? You got no fucking chance of breaking the lines. The guy goes back. He goes forward. He does it all. He can ping a ball, right? He might not get you the goals, but he knows how to pass. He knows how to defend, and he's aware. But what kind of money is that? Over £100 million. Much like Rice. So Rice is 110. Barella would be at least 120 with the mafia job that we're going to have to pay. You know how that is, right? But imagine Barella and Odegaard side by side. Shut the gate. Literally shut the gate. And Declan Rice behind with Thomas Partey coming off the bench. Oh, my God. Now, that's a midfield, right? That's a midfield that excites you. Now, the number 11, when he's got Barella beside him, guess what? Remember how we were talking about, we want him to kick back and go forward? Dude, the 11 and the 7 can go forward. Don't even come back. Just stay there. Stay there with the 9. I don't know. Fucking picnic. When you got Barella in the fucking midfield with Odegaard going back, do you get me? We need to make those kind of signings. That's a signing that excites me. Not a Band-Aid. That's why that seems like a Band-Aid to me. A good signing, solid, but a Band-Aid.
Okay, fair enough. I just wanted your opinion on it. That's all. Chris saying here, Arteta taking Arsenal as far as he can. For me, they need to win it in the dugout. Big up to Shashi saying, I don't really think Arteta is the problem. I think the season's poor performance are down to the board. Arteta has been very vocal about having a thin squad. His choice, just saying. He's done it last season, start of the season, and the other day post Brentford, he wanted a number 9, and he doesn't want a number 9, just so everyone's fully aware. An 11-2 with Nico Williams, Neto, Kudu. Kudu is a situation we need to keep an eye on at the moment because obviously West Ham are about to sack Lopetegui and appoint a new manager. So Kudu is one to watch just because we don't know what's going to happen this window with him. So just keep an eye out for Kudu. And leaving everything for the last minute, hoping to get a cut price deal, have cost us massively. Again, I'm sorry, that's all Arteta. Arteta wants to meet the player, have a conversation with him. It's a really awkward conversation, if I'm honest. So I get where the people are blaming the board sometimes, but Arteta does have to take some of the blame and quite a lot of it sometimes, in my opinion.
70-30? 70-30?
Yeah, I'm more 70-30 than it is like 50-50 for some people. I think it's 70-30 for Arteta, to be honest. Terry's saying, oh my God, Terry, why are you going here? Sunoco would have made a difference in this squad last night. He's better than Havertz.
No, he's got a bad attitude. He wouldn't have played.
If he said Bent, I'd let him get away with that, Timmy.
Arsenal above all agreeing with Ozzy for something. Sorry, something was said obviously a long time ago. Obviously, this conversation.
I think it was when I was talking about the way he's in the midfield and the players that he picks and what he does with the fucking midfielders.
Newton UYS, do you think Arteta has reached his ceiling? Quick answers, please. So there's more of those questions. Gumza, yes or no?
Yep, he's reached the ceiling.
Okay, Steve, Tony, Akposh, you're going to have to say it because obviously you can't see it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I had to force you to say it like that one so we can't see if you're nodding or shaking your head. John Crump and his father were never going to back the team. Let's be honest, he said, I didn't buy Arsenal to win trophies. When did he ever say that?
Can I just respond to that?
Yeah, please do, because I'm furious.
Look, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not coming at you, right? I'm not going to. I come across a bit aggressive. The owners of this company, let's call it Arsenal, they didn't spend the cent when they were just partners. They started spending money now that they're owners. Now think of it this way: you own a business, you just bought it, but you spend every penny that it makes in profit, all right, to build it up and make it better, and it falls on its sword. Whose fault is it? Your fault for appointing the wrong manager but you did back him. So think about how much money that they could have put in their pocket. £750 million, right? They could have put in their pocket and said, fuck you, because they don't care about me and you. But they didn't. They said, here you go, Arteta, spend some money and make us a winner.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
No.
So they did spend the money.
They have spent
Said
a
it
lot.
once before. I'll say it again.
And I wanted
teams-
to say something out there concerning the owners and the recruitment they have done in terms of the guys they've employed to run this football club.
Yes.
Do you guys think if we had gone for a different sporting director, somebody who had more experience than Edu per se, and employed Mikel Arteta, could we have done a little bit more better than we have done so far under Arteta?
Can I go? Even I'm the Cape man.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
I'm
Anyone answers, because I'm going to keep
from-
quiet on this one.
For me, I think you have to look at it in two sections. So the
Yeah.
first section was the first part of the rebuild. We was in a mess. We was in a mess for a long time. We hadn't made Champions League for how many seasons? Contracts running out like crazy. People leaving on a free. No value in the squad.
Yeah.
So we had to overhaul that part. I think Edu and Arteta done very, very well to get us to where we were at the start of this season. Even when we went for the 2 title challenges, the first season we was not expecting us to come for that title challenge. We was hoping for top 4. We surprised everyone. Then it was like, okay, can we do it again? We challenged. The frustrations come now as we challenged twice and we haven't kicked on. So again, we could put together a season, make 90-something points. If Man City done what Man City have done previously, we still might come second. But what we're not seeing is the quality of football, and we're losing games stupidly. We're dropping points like crazy. I think this is where the problem is. So I think the first stage of what Arteta and Edu done, you have to applaud them from turning Arsenal into who were Banter FC to this title challenging squad, the squad's worth the second highest in the world, I believe, at the moment. So Real Madrid have the highest value squad. We're second because you're looking at contracts, age of players, sell-on values, all that. So they've put us in a really good position, but we now need to go to the next stage, and we're now stumbling, and this is where the problem's coming. It's my opinion, anyway.
Steve?
That whole didn't buy Arsenal to win
Sorry,
trophies thing's nonsense. That's all I'm going to say. Right? The Cronkies are winners. Okay, in the last few years, they've won the Lombardi Trophy, which is the Super Bowl. They've won the Larry O'Brien Trophy, which is the NBA with the Denver Nuggets, and they won the Stanley Cup with the Colorado Avalanche in the last 3 or 4 years. So I'm not hearing any of this nonsense that they don't care about winning. They care about winning. And they have backed the manager. They have backed the manager.
Yeah,
So-
but Tony, I would respectfully disagree with you on that here. I think they might care on winning. They might care on winning, but I'm looking at actions. That's my point of view. That was why that was the main reason I asked this question about the people they appointed to run this football club.
Okay.
Because we have because I think Kelvin has Gamza has given me very good points that I agree with to some extent. As at the point when they employed Edu and Arteta, we were in a deep mess. But moving forward, I think we should have reshuffled some of these key positions, in my opinion. Because why I would disagree with Tony is the fact that if we want to win per se, we have employed guys who have no experience of winning. No experience of winning per se. And these guys also have recruited players who have no experience of winning.
What I will say just quickly.
So how do we put all of these actions together and say we want to win? How do we do it?
Of course, if I could just say, so again, you're sitting in your meetings. When you hire Edu and Arteta, they've both got no experience. And what they've come and told you is we're going to do this. So we're going to, by 4 years, we're going to do this.
Yeah,
They've done that. They've done that. So when they're telling you, right, we do this bit first, now we get to the second stage.
Yeah.
If you look at the table, we wasn't far off. So me as an owner, I probably would put another year's trust in them to say you was 1 or 2 points off this year from making it happen. And you're going up against arguably the best team the Premier League's ever seen. So you would give them the element of, actually, they said they're going to deliver us, they're going to turn us around and make us from the top 8 club to a challenging club. They tick that box.
Yeah, title contenders.
They've changed the whole squad round from the mentality of Arsenal of losing players on a free, players running down their contracts and walking out for next to nothing. Okay, we tick that box. The next stage of winning a title, we're not there, and actually we're now going backwards. So now is the right time to talk about Arteta as manager. I think in the summer it would be in the wrong time because we progressed again from the year before. So we came second twice, but if you look at the points, we progressed again. Now this is, I think, where it's the right time to look at Arteta. So I get what you're saying. In hindsight, where we are now, we look and saying, why didn't the Cronkies get rid of him in the summer? But he has got a little bit of credit in the bank for where we were to where he's put us. And I think now is the right time to say, and that's what I think Bobby's saying, there are some cracks starting to begin because things are starting to go wrong. And now's the right time. I think it would have been too soon to get rid of him in the summer. I think that would have been a bit unfair, personally. Again, I know we all want to win. I think you have to look at the whole journey rather than 23 to 2025. I think that's why I differ to a few people, personally.
I hear you.
Look, I think the Kroenkes, and I'm going to jump in on this one. I'm sorry. The Kroenkes see Arsenal as a business. And when you invest in a business, right, you want to be able to recoup some of your money. Just feel me on a business sense. Forget about football, forget about trophies, forget about fans. Just fuck all that, right? Consumers is what we have, okay? Now, if you put money into a business, right, you obviously want to see some sort of success. Now, when it comes to success for Arsenal, it's about marketing, it's about sponsorship deals, and how much more money we can recoup, right? Now, a successful team can ask and push for more from their sponsors. They can push more from Adidas. They can push more from any sponsor when we're not just playing expansive football, right? We're not just finishing second or in the Champions League, but we are guys that could possibly win the Premier League. Now, what's better than a sponsor to be on a jersey of a team that's won the Premier League or won an FA Cup, right? So it's a potential chance for that particular sponsor to be on that kit when Arsenal win a trophy. Now, that's a good way to make a bit more bling, ka-ching, ching, right? It's marketing. That's what that is. Now, the Kroenkes know about marketing. They're not morons. They know how to make their money. They know they have to spend to make. They have spent. Winning trophies for them isn't about having a little shiny little thing. For them, it's like, yes, we've got a trophy, but now we can use that trophy in the sense of trying to recoup some money via marketing and maybe for our sponsors, or maybe attract better sponsors, right? That's what they're looking to do. And they've spent money. If they didn't give a shit, guess what? You'd still have a shit team. You wouldn't have spent 700 million. They have made a mistake though, right? They have made a mistake is when they did sign Arteta, that they've given him so much time and really they haven't pulled him up on too much. But I think now it's starting to show where they're thinking, we've spent a lot of money. How much are we going to be able to recoup from all the work that we've done in the last 5 years? And that's going to come across on marketing. That's going to come back on sponsorship. And if they can see that it doesn't make up the metrics, that we don't make up those metrics now, that's going to be something that's going to be discussed with Arteta in his appraisal. Sorry it's coming across this way, but that's what I'd be doing. And saying, all this money spent, where does it make sense on these metrics? It doesn't, because we can't recoup this money. Why? Because we haven't been successful. Where's our success? We've backed you. Even when you've made silly moves like Moreno and Yada, we've backed you and said, go for it. It hasn't spawned fruit. So how are we supposed to recoup some of these money? How are we supposed to recoup some of this money, Arteta?
How do
That's
you know
the question.
How do you know if we're not actually in a better position financially than he even predicted? I get what you're saying with trophies, and the more successful you are, the more it brings on.
We are in a better position financially as a club. Right. If we were to sell the club tomorrow, we would have made more money. But we're not going to be in a position. Think of it this way, Gumza. When you spend money, there's projected growth. How much money to how much growth you're going to get, because there's going to be some success behind it. Trust me, we are not reaching the targets that the Kroenkes are set for 700 million. I guarantee it, we haven't. I'd put money on it now, all day.
Right. Would you like me to actually answer this question? I know, because I know the answer.
You know, Bobby, please go for it. If I'm wrong, I'll be very happy to say great.
We need your contribution. Yeah,
we are miles away from the commercial targets that we set. Miles away, and they are.
There you fucking go.
Absolutely, we are one of the, when it comes to commercial sponsorships in the Premier League, we are one of the worst, and we shouldn't
hand out the hat.
We are miles away from it. There is
where do we say we sit in terms of in the league?
Hand out the
terms
hat,
of
Gumza.
commercial
I'm putting a pound in.
in about commercial value.
Yeah.
Commercial value, we're probably like the bottom 4 in the Premier League,
Wow.
which is ridiculous.
But again, this might be a bigger problem because this can't be down to not winning the league, because how many teams in this league have won the league in the last 5-6 years? So again, there's
Good
maybe
point.
more
Good
to
point.
it
Good point.
than just winning the trophy. Because if we're bottom
Fair
4,
shout.
that must mean there's what, Ipswich, Southampton, Leicester, then Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? So what about the other?
Yeah.
What are the others doing so well? And it can't be winning a trophy because Brighton haven't won a trophy, Villa haven't won in forever long. So it's deeper than just winning that trophy for me.
It is deeper, but the problem that we are having, and unfortunately, we have to win something, or we have to continuously compete. Now he does, and you have to agree with this, Gumza. Last season, and I think maybe the season before, we literally just dropped out the cups. Literally went,
Yep.
That can't be bothered.
Them off. Yeah.
That is not a good business decision. I know people, this is football, but it's a business decision as well. It's awful because FA Cups is one of the cups that is seen all around the world by a multiple amount of people, and it's very lucrative for the teams that win it as well. Like what I've been saying about Newcastle will not be able to grow unless they win something or continuously challenge for European titles and stuff like that. Because
Do you feel? Sorry, Bobby. Do you feel some of the decisions made years ago impacted us now, and we are trying to reverse it? Again, I've coached for a long time, and where there was a stage, I didn't see any kids with Arsenal shirts on, and we're in Reading. Started seeing more Man City. I saw more Tottenham shirts.
Yeah.
And it used to drive me insane coaching the 25, 30 kids and not one Arsenal shirt. That's starting to change slowly now. I'm seeing more Arsenal shirts come through. But that's also a big indicator for me for where Arsenal were 4 or 5 years ago. It wasn't pretty. Again, some of us are born into it. Our parents tell you this is you supporting. Some of it is, again, I'm 7 years old. I'm watching and playing FIFA. I'm seeing Haaland. I'm seeing Harry Kane. So that's what I'm going to go follow. So we missed a massive generation because we would be in the mud for a long time. So it is going to be a process to change.
The battle between Usmanov and the Kroenkes many years ago was not good commercially for us at all. And obviously we all know about Usmanov now. Obviously at the time, more people knew about Usmanov than they did, obviously, with what happened, which I won't get into because we'll get into trouble. But that was not good. We should have just dealt with that in a better way than we did, unfortunately. But guys, I really do need to get through these comments because I feel bad I'm not going through some of these. Ryan saying, I'm starting to believe that now, to be honest, Newton, regarding Arteta. Summer the window was a sackable offence for all involved. Hence, no. I'm sorry. No. Edu was not sacked. Edu would have probably walked away at the end of this season because the deal from Evangelos was too hard not to take, to be fair. But Edu wasn't able to do his job because Arteta just kept going, nope. If you kept going to the shop and they weren't selling your favourite bread, would you keep going to that shop? No, you'd end up going to a different shop, wouldn't you? And that's what for Edu, and I feel really sorry for Edu because I actually like him. He's a really nice guy. And Jason, bless him, is going to do his best this window, and I do feel for him because he's quite quiet. But yeah, he's going to do his best, and I'm sure we'll get one good signing. I'm just not sure how excited all the fans will be about it, but we'll see. Big up to AFC always. Same old Arsenal, nothing in attack. Caught out defensively. Arteta built a team that relies on Saka. I don't think he's built a team that relies on Saka. I think we're having to rely on Saka.
It's a team that relies on Saka. That's what it is.
Well, this is what we want, and what Kroenkes want, and what Arteta does want eventually is a free-proned attack. So we've got the left, the right, and the striker is all dangerous. Gives them a nightmare, and it takes the pressure away from Saka. Gums has been saying this for a long time. If you've got a left winger and a striker that causes just as much havoc as Saka is, good luck trying to defend it, because the pressure will come off Saka because there won't be two people marking Saka because they won't be able to afford two players to mark Saka because they'll have to worry about the left winger and the striker. We don't. And I'm going to
use an example. I use this as an example. Why do you think Gakpo's doing so well for Liverpool at the moment?
Exactly.
Just saying.
No, it's true though. That's the thing. That's what and I'll even say when when Elise was still at Crystal Palace, and they were going through this really, really good purple patch. They were like free wildebeest just coming towards you because they had a free prone attack at Crystal Palace, and that was Crystal Palace. They had a better attack than ours at the time because it was scary. It was I think it was it Eze, Elise, and who was the other one? Was it Mateta?
Mateta.
No, was it Mateta?
Yeah,
That
he
was
going
that was a
crazy.
danger. I wouldn't want that free coming towards me as a right back. I'd be like, what the hell?
Nottingham Forest at the moment have that with Gibbs
Yes,
White, Elanga,
exactly.
and Hudson-Odoi. And
Exactly.
Wood's benefiting massively because those three are just lightning, aren't they?
Exactly. That's what we're trying to do, and we will eventually do it. It will by next season.
We're trying to do that.
We're trying. We're trying. It's bloody hard.
Wow.
We are trying.
Shit, you could have fooled me.
I know, but trust me, we're trying. It's getting the right player. That's the problem. We can find him, but Arteta doesn't always like it. But it is what it is. Right, Rice and Gabriel aren't particularly nice. Timber too. They are nice people. They're not. I think a lot of people. I don't know how many people you noticed last night saying that Rice was showing captain material last night. I've been saying this for a long time. Rice should be captain. I don't agree with Odegaard at all. He's too quiet for me.
Odegaard's too soft, too quiet.
Yeah, too quiet. Rice he's got Irish blood for a start, which is always a good thing. For people that know, they know. I'm with an Irish, someone with Irish blood. Trust me, you don't want to mess with them. But yeah. I'm sorry. I know Moss fell out on me over this, and I don't particularly care in the long grand scheme of things. But Odegaard is not captain material for me. Yeah. Yes, he is for Norway because he's literally just got to deal with Haaland. The rest of the players are crap. So. It is what it is. Odegaard's worst captain, 0 chances created, went hiding. He's having a really bad. He wasn't even ill last week. I told you this. It's literally his form's dipped, and they're trying to boost his confidence again. It's not working. Odegaard always flicks his head, does my head in Saka right game maestro. For fuck's sake. So Brighton badge loves. I do think he's trying to prepare for his after the football career. I think he wants to go and work at an airport because he's great at it. It's fantastic. Trying to get the planes to land. Mr. Arsenal, I don't want to. I want to believe there is still enough in the tank to go all out, but they're making it so damn hard, says Newton. I think so, Newton. Arthur is Brendan Rodgers. We need to keep our club. My choice would be Nagelsmann, but KSE will be happy with Arthur. Says no. Josh wants to win trophies. This is not a Wenger period again, people. Right? Get that out of your head. Not going to happen. We need to win.
Not the Wenger bus.
It's not the Wenger bus. I personally wish that we never listened to Wenger when he left because he wanted Arteta as the new manager. I think we should have just ignored him personally. I know a lot of people love Wenger. I do as well, but he did also ruin the club at the end as well. So he got us into this mess. So I don't personally think we should have listened to him. Corners and crosses, that's all we had. Toothless attack, yes, Tony and Gums says Daily, big up to Daily. Saka doesn't depend on speed, he'll be all right. Soldi Assad, that don't bring in anyone to replace him, so Odegaard has no backup competition to keep him on his toes. Saka won't be the same again, in my opinion. Once you have surgery, you're a different player. I've seen it with Owen at Liverpool. Obviously, will still score goals, but not as many as he was getting. It could happen, but let's be optimistic. Let's hope he comes back absolutely fine.
Cream always rise.
Well, it's the thing. We don't. No one knows. Look, it's for me. It's more 50-50 how they come back. Some people come back even more hungry, even better. Some players do come back slightly worse. We saw it with Jesus, but it is what it is. Big up to Carl saying TikTok, don't say I didn't warn you about this happening back in the summer. This manager is not it, guys. Sorry, Odegaard couldn't lace up Vieira or Tony Adams' boots. Totally agree on that one. Morgan Rogers and Duran cost Villa 23 million. We paid 65 million for Havertz. I think it's more issues than it is just Havertz, if I'm honest. Big up to Canners. Perspective, lads. 1 defeat in 2 months. However, there is a problem. Big up to Canners. Hope you're doing well. Overall, I think we're actually getting there, and when we do, could be there right at the top for a long time. That is the plan. Once we're at the top, we were going to keep, and the whole process will be a conveyor belt. So we'll carry on looking for the 22, 23-year-olds that were all placed, the ones that are 28, 29. So once we've got it, it will be a conveyor belt, and we will be challenging for 10 years easily once we get it right. That's the problem. Arteta blamed for the ball. Just, yeah, less said about that, the better.
The thing is, like, it's things like that that don't help, and it doesn't help us as fans.
No.
It's
Give a little pushback on that.
He's giving opposition fans banter materials.
Yeah,
we have to stop, because even if I read the report, I listened to it 5 times. If you see how they worded it in the report to what was actually said, they flipped it. He was asked a question about the ball. He said, the guy said previous managers.
But just don't comment on it. Just say.
All he's answered is say.
But Gamza, he was adding to what previous managers have said about the ball. He said it himself. He said it's different. He said the ball flies differently.
And that's nothing wrong with that. They say about every ball: Champions League ball, Premier League ball, World Cup, Euros. Everyone's always discussed the football. Like, what we do anytime it's Arsenal.
Did they not train with the ball though? Oh, come on, stop it. Stop it.
Gamza, both teams use the ball. Both teams use the ball. He could have said. If you're talking to the media, there are 1,000 ways he could have answered that question. In my opinion, there are 1,000 ways he could have answered that question.
We need to stop. We do need to stop. We all need to stop. Like,
it's not about us. It's not about us, Gamza. You need to talk to Arteta to stop giving these excuses.
Because he might have even commented on this ball 3 games ago when we won, but no one picks up on it.
He needs to stop giving these excuses. He needs to stop giving these excuses. It's not about us, the fans. It's not about us, the fans, talking about it now.
You're missing what I'm saying. He may have commented on this ball 2 games ago, but it doesn't get picked up because we won. But because we get beat now, and again, if you listen to what was said, the guy said, "What's your thoughts on the ball?" Because previous managers have said, and he said it flies differently, and it's different to catch. He just spoke about the ball. He hasn't said we lost the game because the ball was rubbish or we missed chances. The actual point when he said missing chances was said in a different sentence about the ball.
I'm not going to be taken out of context because this is the world we live in. You know what I mean?
He's got to be. Look, let's just say that next time he's in an interview and he's in a lot and he's lost a game, that he has to be careful about what he's saying because they're going to spin it in any which way. Now this goes down to him just not being. He has to be careful because they're going to spin it for a story. So just don't add fuel to the fire when I say, "What do you think of the ball?" Doing. I would have said, "I don't think of the ball."
Gamza, this is pretty much like Klopp. This is pretty much like Klopp complaining about the midday fixtures every time his team is losing. This is pretty much the same. This is pretty much the same trend, in my opinion. If you have lost a game, you as the manager, you should be cautious of the things you are going to say. Immediately you are complaining about something, the media and opposition fans will definitely spin it that you are blaming that as the factor you've lost the game.
Yeah. They know what they're doing. This is the world we live in.
Listen, as sensible guys that we are, we need to start jumping on that because it's this that fuels it all the time. So again, he's made the comment. Again, he's answered the question. He's answered the question. It is what it is. But then the moment it comes into the group chat is, look what Arteta's blamed on our defeat. And he didn't blame the ball on our defeat. And that's where we've got to stop running with some mad narratives because it just spirals. And then again, it makes us look stupid. And again, if we then layer it back and actually listen to what he said, it's in context. And this is why, you know me, Tony, I love context around everything.
I know you
do. I love some context. But yeah, it's a stupid comment. But again, it's sometimes just let them think. You just got to let them go. But we've got to stop running with some of the narratives because he didn't say that. Do you know what I mean? He didn't blame the football for our defeat.
No, it comes. It's not the fact that it's not about like he didn't blame the football for the problems, right? What the problem is that he's a manager of Arsenal Football Club for 5 years. Maybe you think he would have learned something about the media by now, about what they're going to do. So don't worry about the context. Don't worry about all that. He should be smart enough to say they're trying to fuck me here, right? They're trying to fuck me. Watch this. What do you think about the ball? I don't think about it until it's in the back of the net. I don't know. I wasn't out there playing. It's just he needs to be ready for that because that sort of an interview, you know what it does to our marketability? Like forget about what the banter. It's about marketing as well.
Yeah.
right? When he says things like that and they can spin it in a certain way, even though he didn't say it in that context, but the media have just something that they can spin the other way, then it makes us look a little bit stupid, right? And even though they're the ones fucking making us look stupid, he just needs to be. He needs to be better in the interviews. When they start coming up with stupid questions about a ball, he's going to look at them and say, I'm talking about a game. You're talking about a ball. You want to talk about the ball? Go talk to the manufacturer. I didn't make the ball. Get the hell out of here. Next question. Make him look like an idiot. And then I would look and said, oh, fuck, moron. Talking about a ball. I don't know about balls as much as I know about the lights in this fucking building, you idiot. Like, seriously. Spin it back. Throw it back at them.
World. He should know better. And like you said, 5 years.
Exactly.
So I'm with that. Again, for me, it's very much about how we just keep interpreting things. I don't like sometimes, again, we all do it. We all look for an agenda. So it's like, oh, he said that. I could use that as my way to get out Arteta. And that's where I then get my cape on, almost people say. But if you listen to me today, there's no cape. I will hold him accountable for what he needs to be accountable for. And if some things are just extra, I will say, that's just nonsense. And that's just how I am, regardless if I like a guy or not. And it's just where I sit on it.
No, fair enough.
No, that's fair, man.
Delta saying, I think we're actually getting there, and when we do, be right at the top for a long time, but we are getting there too slowly, and that is on Arteta. It is taking too long to get things where he wants them, even if the end product is going to be exactly where we want. Yeah, I agree. Ryan saying he's only ruthless. I don't want to talk about goalies too much, but we will sign a new goalie next summer. Just so be prepared for it, people. Be prepared. Perspective, how many draws? You had more draws than the furniture shop. The Aussie Gooner is on fire, says Chris. Why can't we test the waters for Mbeumo? If the Brent, it's way too much. They will ask for an extra 20, 30 million on top of what his market value is.
Talk about Man United
window.
Mate.
It's just not going to happen. Yeah, just won't happen. Laughing at Gonzo because he's bang on. Let's be real. We should just do the 49 million on Williams and pay that. He doesn't want 200. He wants 300 canners. That's the problem.
Is he on 350 already?
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I'll
what's
have
he
to
on?
find out.
He's on
Bilbao
Bilbao because Bilbao don't sign players, do they? So they have to pay a lot of money on wages. He's on like 250 or 350.
Oh yeah, I suppose he would. Yeah.
He wants 300 now. I'll give me 2 seconds and I'll find it out for you.
Shit.
So that's that. Newton saying if we don't want to get PI proven right winger, then we play Ethan in the 10, Odegaard in the 8, Rice at the 6. What do you guys think? I like that idea personally.
How long has he been out for anyway?
Say that again.
How long is Nwaneri out for?
Currently, it's mid-February. He's back. So yeah, that I will keep everyone updated. Like Sterling shouldn't have been on the bench last night. He's not due back for another 10 days. So I don't know why he was on the bench last night. I don't know why Ismail Kabir could have taken his slot last night. I just don't understand why Sterling was there. Defenders are not happy. Last night, probably off camera, they were having a go at each other. Yes, there was a fallout between players last night. It carried on into the dressing room as well, which will be dealt with today. I don't know if anyone will get fined, but there was some words, there was some things thrown between players. So it was interesting last night, I have to be honest. Gabriel was hella vocal. I like Gabriel. If someone says make him captain, I won't have a problem with it. I'll be honest.
No, definitely. Yeah. No.
Arteta is a stifler, says Temi. Havertz costs 65 million. Isaac costs 63 million. Yeah. It's horrible when you look at it like that, isn't it? But here we go. Why were Top Gooners leaving back your manager? Trust the process, trust the phases. Sub fans are like that. I back the club. I want the best of the club. I don't care about managers. I don't care about players.
I don't really have a problem. Look, I don't have a problem with people who are Arteta in, Arteta out. People who have different thoughts. I ain't got a problem with it. We all want the same thing.
Yeah.
Some people are more patient than others, Gumza. But the reason why I'm losing my patience is because of how close we've been getting. And for me, this was the season that we were supposed to go out there and, well, pretty much dominate. And people forgetting that Liverpool were actually in the title race last season. I don't know why people were, and even Liverpool fans themselves, I wouldn't expect to be there, but you were in the title race last season, so you should expect to be there.
Yeah.
The
only thing I said about Liverpool is they might have a little bit of a drop off because new coach. You don't know how he's going to find it. But to be fair, he's done very well. I've been
Yeah.
very, very impressed by Arnish. I have to be honest. And good on Liverpool. Take me back to 2023. Temi says sold that player in Smith Rowe and placed him with Marino. Yeah, that's why we're going for Danny Olmo. Helps us, and Barca. That situation is going to be ongoing for another good 2 weeks, I would have assumed. It's an absolute mess, I'll be honest. So
desired effect by Barcelona too, huh? Leave it a mess,
exactly.
make it complicated.
Yeah. Oh yes, definitely. They're going to call. It's horrendous. Big up to P Valley 2010. Daily, don't you're upset then? Not us. We won't ever get upset, so don't worry about it. Take me back to 2004 when we won a title, not finishing second. So AFC always. Maybe you guys already talked about it, but explain why did Havertz play right wing and Jesus in the number 9?
2004's points probably wins the league now anyway.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't.
For me, Havertz can play right wing. I watched him at Leverkusen a hell of a lot, and he was very good on the right wing. I don't see why we don't do it personally. But it is what it is. I'm not the manager, so I won't comment on it. Few Gunners on the podcast, changing sense for once. You ain't that team finally kicking in. Thank you very much, Daly. Arteta does not like characters, but that is what you need on the pitch. 100% geeks. Heard we do not have the funds for. Oh, what a load of absolute codswallop. We have got the funds, but I don't want to pay £300,000 a week for him. And
that just screams out to the other players that we're willing to spend £300 on someone new that isn't proven.
Exactly. And then that causes problems with Saka, Saliba, Gabriel, Odegaard in years to come when their new contracts come up. That we would have
and we're back to the Wenger days.
Yeah, exactly. So
we're almost there now, aren't we? Because Havertz is on 250. So we're not far off it. So if he's going to be the level raiser we want, then just pay the extra 50. Because Saka's coming for 300,000 soon anyway, and Saliba.
Havertz is on more than 250. I'm just saying.
Right, there you go. So what's the extra 25 for the amount that's going to be level? If he's the level raiser we need, then you pay the money.
Is the if we
want to be the big club,
the club at the moment. So yeah.
If we want to be the club we want to be, then if 300,000 the fee for the correct player, then you pay it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair
you're paying almost that for Havertz. So.
I don't want Nico Williams so overrated, says Chris. Fair enough. If Rashford was in his 30 goal a season, mood alone could be worth it. I'm also impressed with Jimenez of Feyenoord and Liam Delap over Ferguson. Okay. I do get it, but Rashford, by the looks of it, will be going abroad. I think.
There's talks of his agents in Italy or something at the minute.
Yeah, his agents are in Italy. Dortmund are very interested. As a Dortmund fan for Bundesliga, I would take him at Dortmund. And to be fair, I'm an AC Milan fan as well, and I'll take him at AC Milan. So I don't mind either way if he goes up to either of those clubs.
He'll do well there, you know. He'll do well there.
He will. Look, there's a player there. He's just lost his way, but we cannot have him. No, we've had enough. No, thank you. But I take Jimenez from Feyenoord. I like him. He wouldn't cost a lot either. Liam Delap, there's a player there, but I don't think right now. I think he needs another good season before I'm convinced. I know Gumza was saying we need to take a risk. I just think it's a little bit too early to see how good Delap is, and yeah. It's too early for me at the moment. I know Arthur Gumza says we need to take a risk sometimes, but I think...
Listen, we all know the only Ipswich player we'll probably go for is Leif Davis because he's a left back. So,
well, yes, there might be a slight hatred towards Ipswich within this, but yes, I would take Leif Davis as well. All managers say they all play well in training, but that's exactly. It's always the same. Big up to Eugene. Replace Arteta with his assistant manager, Albert. Arteta can't win Arsenal a major trophy or anything this season. I wouldn't give Albert the reins. I would give it to Carlos, if I'm honest. But
I like him.
I like Carlos a lot. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Look, he's not going to get sacked from now till the end of the season. What happens at the end of the season is an unknown. He might walk away himself. We don't know. It depends how it goes. Look, we could still win the Champions League. Let's be honest. We could still win it. We could still win the League Cup. We could win the FA Cup, and we could win the league. We don't know because football is a very weird sport. Let's be honest. Everyone was predicting the Liverpool win last weekend. Did they get it? No, they didn't. So football's football. Gumza, how many times have we seen it over the years? Clubs just totally do a shocker, and clubs come out of nowhere and just win stuff. It happens. It happens over so many years.
Happen as well. Like, you know,
Exactly. I'm not saying we
sack the
will.
manager of one Champions League. Do you know what I mean? So
exactly. Arteta's issue is he lacks experience managing people. He is. I'll be honest. He's not the greatest people person. If you get on the wrong side of him, good luck trying to make it up to him because it won't happen.
He's the kind of manager that can't handle big personality.
He can't handle any of them. It's his way or no way. And in football, that doesn't work because you have to have, like I've said, and I said it yesterday about the bastards. You need a bastard.
We need a bastard.
You need a bastard. I'm sorry, people. I know this is 12 o'clock, but you need a bastard. So give me one. Arteta would sign Isaac and play him left wing to accommodate Havertz at centre forward. To be honest, Isaac is versatile. I know everyone just thinks he's number 9, but he can actually play on the left and can play on the right. A lot of people forget.
Arsenal above all made a mistake. He meant to write. He didn't mean left wing. He meant left wing back.
Oh well, that would that would.
That's what he meant. Yeah, 100%.
In games like yesterday, play Calafiori and Saliba as centre back so that Calafiori can make runs in the middle. Big Gabby takes too long on the ball and often makes sideways passes. Okay, interesting. All the gains made by Arteta in terms of dressing competence and competitiveness, supporting United, club focus and direction will be spent with the 3-year inability to secure the title, says Geeks. Big up to Gary saying hello. Poor Bobby wasn't expected to be over an hour, but loving debate, getting all your opinions. It's fine. I'm getting on with work at the same time. It's all good. Now, this comes back to what Gumza was saying regarding White, Timber, and having to play party at right back. I totally agree with Brenny. I didn't want to say anything at the time because obviously I want to try and also get on with it. But yes, Josh Nichols is there if we need him. Now, this is when you do give chances to the youth, is when your squad is so stretched. Use one of the youth. We've got Josh. We've seen how good he is. He does play the Arsenal way, or the Arteta way, as you want to call it. So why haven't we given Josh the chance? Because then we still have him party at the number 6 anyway. So that's my opinion anyway. Kira Gilbert came in when no right backs were available. Big shout by Wenger in 2006. So he's obviously showing an example when we did that as well. Rice got like 5 man of the match in a row last season. The problem is midfield balance. Agree. Trossard, Jesus and Martinez, too many players non-consistently performing. Canna's saying we have Timber. We needed a left back. We will be getting a left back next this summer. So I'm losing track of where I am in the year yet. Longest Bobby Stream, yeah. Hato is the choice for left back, says Geeks. Record breaking Bobby Stream. If we got a right back, you would have lost your minds. We have been so unlucky with injuries.
Yeah, he's right.
We need a left back. Everyone knew this. We have a left back, and we're getting rid of him in Kieran Tierney. No, but seriousness, we are looking at a new left back. It will probably be the Summit. Don't expect a big money signing one though. I'm actually doing multiple things at the same time. The centre back profile, Swiss Army knife approach to left back and right back is an injury nightmare across the league, says Geeks. Bobby shouldn't eat popcorn. I wish I had some popcorn. I would be eating it. Aussie cracking me up, says Canners. I hope Bobby hasn't choked on that popcorn. Thank Lord, popcorn there. Big up to Bunzi. Hope you're doing well. Trossard is an absolute joke. He cannot start. He's an impact sub. Let's hope the Aussie Gooners is not a doctor. Sorry, mate. You're fucked. Sideways. I like that.
Pretty much it. You're fucked, mate. Like, pick out your plot. You're fucked.
You know what? I like shows like this. Everyone gets their whatever they want to talk about off their chests. This is the therapy show. We should rename this, not the match reaction therapy. It's good. Some legends on here today. Thank you very much, Muns. The ugly blue thing. Marino joined late into pre-season and got injured on top of it. Hasn't spent a lot of time in the team or system. Feel like this judgments are very harsh on him. Fair enough. If Bobby was a king, his title would be the deposed. This guy's lost his head. Bet you £1,000 this guy hasn't watched hello.
You know what the worst? You know what the worst thing is? I'm an AC Milan fan, right? I am, and I'm watching Inter just for him.
Well, yeah. look, we all have different leagues that we all watch. I watch the Bundesliga a lot. I watch Eredivisie a lot. I watch SPL a lot because obviously I'm a Rangers fan. But this is what you kind of got to do sometimes as a football fan. Enjoy other football leagues. Scout yourself.
Serie A.
And this is what, obviously, me and Gumza and Tony would have been brought up on Serie A mainly because it was Channel 4, wasn't it, Gumza? It was mainly on.
In the 90s, Serie A was top notch. It was probably better than the Premier League.
Yeah, and it was something that we all watched as kids.
Days. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it was one of our most favourite leagues after the Premier. Well,
the old AC Milan team with Nesta, Maldini, Dida, Kaká, Cafu, I think as well, Pirlo.
Yeah, you just turn it into football something now. I tell you, it begins with a P.
Fuck me. Yeah, that's like that's dream team right there.
It is.
Imagine that team here now. Shit.
Can we spend that on 8 when we need 2 strikers and a winger? Well, we're not going to get 2 strikers.
No, we won't.
We'll get a winger. We'll get 1 striker. And to be honest, we've got quite a lot of money. A lot of people forget this. We've got a lot of money. We've got a lot of money now. And then we will have an extra budget next summer as well. So we could spend quite a lot of money if we needed to. And obviously the PSR rules will change as well. So that will help us out a little bit. That dude, I'm not trying to say his name because I will never say that name. It's impossible.
Just say Sheila at the end.
Sheila.
That's it. That's if we do get that player, that's all they're going to be chanting.
Yeah, Sheila. Football requires different model to NFL and NBA. Getting new manager, sporting director with no experience doesn't work as a recruitment in football. Doesn't involve a draft. The owners also know that the purchase price, transfer fund, and operating is called dwarfed by the sale price of the club. Have some standards, sack until now, save our season. There's no excuse. It
won't save our season. It's already. It'll just get worse.
I am. There's not many in my little area that believes if Arteta was to go, I want a manager for like a two season period. That is all I want him here for, 2 seasons, and then we go again with a good young coach that will take us forward, and that's Gasperini. I think Gasperini will come in, do the job, win us trophies, give us the winning mentality. He can then go and retire and give us whoever comes in then. It could be Jack. You never know. It could be an ex-Arsenal player again. Jack's obviously getting his experience now at Norwich. There's talk that Santi Cazorla's doing some badges at the moment. So that would be interesting. But I would just have Gasperini for 2 seasons personally because I feel that he would get us over that line because I like Gasperini. Gunsberg, so impressed with your reasoning and views. Great panel. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, geeks. Appreciate it. Gumza, he is a legend. Thanks for correcting me earlier on Edu post. No, it's all right. No worries. Just people, I get why people are quite anti-Edu, and the media have helped with this because that's the media. But Edu is a top bloke, and I promise he's going to do very good things at Forest as well now. It's actually my first time here, and this is easily the best, most informative content I've found. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Delta.
Awesome.
Thank you. By the way, Bobby, how's the scuba diving going? I know I use the fish one for the therapy sessions because I feel the fish just works with the therapy room. Still live, yes. Carl, we're still here. Yeah,
we're trying to burn down YouTube and go live for 24 hours.
Yeah. Record breaking 2 hour fair play. Thank you, Chris. Get Arteta in the stream. Who was the secret 2 players? Once I'm allowed to tell you, I'll tell you, I promise. But at the moment, I'm not allowed to tell you because something happened. I don't know what exactly happened yesterday, but something happened. I need to work out exactly what happened. I said making captain number 6. Was that about Declan, was it? If players are falling out with each other, then it's the start of slippery road. As I said last night, the cracks was starting to appear last night when I was doing the Zoom call with people. Start the season, I expected us to be 3rd and still in title west, but 3rd and win a trophy like last season, but didn't expect us to have the gap we have at the moment. He's obviously talked about Liverpool here, by the way, because he's a Liverpool fan. But yeah, I agree. Pay the money, says Cole. What? The 300,000 for Williams? I wouldn't
think so.
It will give us a big issue later on been in a business plan. So no, I'm trying to prepare a new stew here. Oh, sorry, Stone. Oh, enjoy it, mate. If you ever want a Newcastle on for a chat, let me know. I used to run a small football channel too, and still have the equipment. Oh, brilliant stuff.
Awesome.
So big up to Danny Talk Stuff DTS. I will try and reach out to you and try and find you, and then we'll try and have a chat about it. Yeah, but yeah, because obviously we've got to do the second leg at some point, and also the return Premier League game as well. I watched a bit of Championship, but I also am a big Luton Town fan, which is actually making me feel better about Arsenal seasons, if I'm honest. Unfortunately, I get what you're saying there. Bobby used the perfect background because that's Arsenal. Fair enough. Great shows. Really enjoyed all the takes. Brilliant stuff. I'm glad. Yes. Sorry, Clumsy. Yes, I'll have a chat with you after the stream. Right. I really do want to get into these stats. I'm going to go very, very quickly because obviously we've been going over 2 hours now. We've not talked about the stats or done player ratings. Right. So possession for 70% for Arsenal, 30% for Newcastle, 23 shots for Arsenal, just a 3 on target. 7 shots for Newcastle, 4 on target. You can see what the problem was. 11 corners for us, 1 corner for Newcastle. Final third passing accuracy was 78 for Arsenal, 64 for Newcastle. XG, now this is the bit I have the biggest bloody issue with, if I'm honest. XG, 3.09 for Arsenal, 1.22 for Newcastle. XG open play, 1.42 open play, 0.71 for Newcastle. XG set play was 1.67 compared to Newcastle's 0.5.
Love this
This bit at the bottom.
This is the one I want.
On target. What the flying fuck was that about? 2.4. Go on, mate.
It's the football.
No, but this obviously this is something that obviously this is the main areas that I work on. I work on all the stats and all that kind of stuff. This is
expected goals on target.
This is
0.6%
I have ever seen a club.
No, it should be like 0.2%. I reckon. We just go percentages. Arsenal's XG on target would be like 0.2% the way we're going.
This is
maybe half a shot on target per game.
Sometimes the XG on target is above the XG, and that's good. That's what you kind of want it. So Newcastle here, 2.4 above 1.22 expected goals. It's fantastic.
Fuck.
And normally Arsenal are pretty good on this. They're normally above or just slightly below, but 0.66 out of a 3.09 XG is horrendous. That's how bad it was last night. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure everyone's fully aware of how crap.
So is that like an XG of like half a goal?
So that again, sorry, mate.
Is that like an XG of like half a goal? So the ball kind of gets there but doesn't. Like
it's just
it's fucking what the fuck?
It's just honestly, I couldn't believe when I was doing the stats this morning because I was doing this at like 5 o'clock this morning, setting this all up because I thought I want to do a morning stream because I want to get some stuff done. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. And I did actually, because obviously I get these from a statistician, and I did ask him, "Is this definitely correct?" He went, "Yep." I went, "Oh crap, that's not good. That's not good." Right. I think it was Gums that was saying about our, was it about Saliba and Gabriel? I think you said they weren't very good last night, which does back up here. Aerial duels won 29% compared to 71% Newcastle. That's never happened. Sometimes it's just below 50. 29%. We've got one of the tallest teams in the Premier League. And with
my problem for the second goal, the first goal. Do you know? Again, I've coached and do it all the time. We relatively small team. Our team's quite young in the men's league.
Yeah,
you're not going to win every first header because sometimes you just got a player like a Dan Burn who's humongous and they're going to put it up to him. The most important thing is then win your second balls. Sometimes I tell my boys, don't even feel contact, don't even jump with him, just drop off. Let him win the first, you win the second, and with the first goal. You know what I mean? It was the first ball's not the problem. It's then winning the second and third, and that's where we kind of fell apart. We just didn't follow in. Do you know what I mean? And we stood still, and they anticipated they were going to win the flick on. And yeah, I think that for me was the biggest problem. We just looked asleep. Like, don't have to win every header. When you're playing against the people crouching, you're going to win every header. But when win first, you make sure you win the second and third, and that's what we didn't do well enough for me yesterday.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Perfect dribbles, 100%. So that's good. That's never happened. So yeah, that's a positive. I did say I'll find a positive somewhere. There you go, 100% perfect dribbles. We can dribble. Ground jaws. Now, on the other positive, ground jaws were getting better because I did say for quite a few weeks now that we were losing jaws, and the majority of the jaws we were losing was actually ground jaws, which was making me panic a little bit. Aerial jaws, yeah, I can take some losses sometimes, but the ground jaws was really important that we weren't losing those, and thankfully we didn't lose them last night, but we lost the game. Right, so passing, you can just see how much we dominated, but did F all with it. 47 touches in the opposite box, 15 for Newcastle, 571 passes for us, 258 for Newcastle. Their passing accuracy is pretty poor, 73. Ours is 88, but we're very good at passing sideways, so that's always good.
Backwards,
sorry, I have to
sideways,
say it.
backwards, sideways,
Yeah.
backwards, sideways.
But passing in the opposition half was 314 for Arsenal compared to Newcastle's 106. Absolutely mental stats these are, I tell you. But yeah, I knew I'd find a positive, and it was accuracy in passing. Perfect dribbles, that's it. PB, we need to get John Sinclair. Yes, we'll definitely have to sort that out as well, because obviously we've got 2 more games with Newcastle yet. I love XG. Chris, you didn't need to put in brackets sarcasm. I know you well enough. I know it's sarcasm. Oh, hang on. We'll come back to that in a minute, Tim. If we have XF expected, don't tempt them. They'll come up with something, I'll tell you. Right. I do want to do the player ratings. And then me and Gumza want to have a little chat about something as well on stream as well. So, Gumza, I'll start with you. Raya, what are you giving him?
Gave away the ball like first 10 minutes about 3 times. Put Lewis Skelly under real pressure once as well. I mean, he managed to get out of it. Wasn't his best performance. Don't know if he could have done more with the second goal. If he could have pushed out for a corner, I'm not too sure. But yeah, weren't overly impressed. So 5.
Okay, fair enough. Timber for you, Steve.
Didn't think he had the best game or the worst game. Honestly, I'll probably give Timber a 6.
Okay. Kumza, you get Saliba.
Yeah, I think him as well. Them two
He was better than Gabriel.
And I think for the goal as well, the first goal, he went to attack the ball. He didn't need to. And if you look where the ball then bounces after it hits Murphy's foot, he would have been stood right there before it got to Izzet. I'm not sure if it's a tactic for him to not mark and then go and attack the ball. But I just thought he didn't need to go and engage in it. He could have just kept his line, and that's what's killed Odegaard. To a certain degree, he's got to be stronger as well. But yeah, I think Saliba, if he just stays in position, he then cleans up the second or third ball very easily. So yeah, 5 for me.
5. Gabriel for you, Steve.
Honestly, I'd have to match that. Actually, if Saliba's getting a 5, Gabriel's getting a 4. Because I reckon Saliba was better than Gabriel in this game.
Okay, fair enough. So you get Miles, Gumza.
I think he was the best 4 for me. Give him a. What did you give Timber?
You gave Timber a 5. I gave Gabriel a 4 because of. I gave Timber a 6. I think Timber was probably. I think Timber was probably. I hate to say it, maybe the best defender that we had.
I think them two. No issue with Lewis Skelly. I think I'll give him a 6 as well.
Okay. Thomas Partey for you, Steve.
I think Thomas Partey didn't have the best of games, to be honest, in the midfield. I think, and I don't want to blame him. I think the last game that he played kind of took it out of him, and he looked disjointed. But we can't give halves, can we?
No, not for me. No.
No, 5.
Okay, fair enough. Rice Baby for you, Gumza.
6.
Well,
I think he was trying to push us on. He was constantly driving. Set pieces were on the money again. Can't do much more with them. So yeah, he gets 6.
Okay. Oh dear. Odegaard for you, Steve.
Yeah. Matching him with Partey, 5.
Okay, fair enough. Martinelli for you, Gumza.
I think the 2 moments fell to him. Again, one I said earlier, he could have squared it to Trossard. He just didn't get his head up and see him. And the second one, yeah, he's got to score. Or I think the game changes on them 2 moments.
Okay. Steve, you get Trossard.
4. I think it was useless in this game.
No, fair enough.
Honestly, honestly, Martinelli, in my opinion, was worse, but it's not like Trossard did himself any favors either. In this game, I think out of position, disjointed. Better than Martinelli, but I'm not going to give him a 5, and I can't give him a 4.5. So he's going to have to sit a 4, man.
Okay, no worries. Kai, for you then, Gumzo.
Not was bad. Again, even if we go into St. James's Park 2-1, it's a lot better than 2-0. So we might not have rescued that game, but scoring that goal would have been so important. One thing I will say is when he went on the right, he looked better than Trossard out there. He actually beat Lewis Hall with ease about 2 or 3 times. So, yeah, performance wasn't bad, but that miss is going to come to haunt us in the next leg.
What did you give him a number? Sorry, I can't remember if you.
Sorry, 5.
Oh, 5. All right, cool. Before I move on to the subs, for people that don't know enough about Havertz, go and watch him at Leverkusen. Like, watch some clips. He's very good on the right. It would actually quite surprise you how good he is out there. So subs. Fucking hell. Steve, you get Jorginho.
Oh, fuck.
It's one of those, isn't it?
What do you want me to say about John? Like,
say he's a nice person.
he passed okay, I guess. You know what? He was better than Partey. He was actually a little bit better than Partey. I mean, he did pass well. But the thing is, I'm just gonna have to match him because he didn't spend that many minutes on the pitch. So 5.
Okay, fair enough. Gumza, you get Jesus.
5.
5. Oh, here we go, Steve. You know who's coming. Zinni. He came on long enough to give a mark. So I always do it. Anything over 10 minutes is enough.
So you're gonna give him. You're gonna make me Zinchenko.
Trust me, it's better than me doing it.
I'll give him a flat 5. I'll give him a flat 5. I'm not going to look. He wasn't as bad as Gabriel, to be honest. But he wasn't on the pitch for long enough to be as bad. So we'll just give him 5.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
He would have been if he gave him a bit more time. You know what I mean?
He would have been. Right. We do rate Hover now because he is an important part of the way that we play. So set pieces. I'll go to both of you. So we'll start with Gumza. What would you give Hover's set pieces last night?
He should have scored from at least 1, but we also conceded from 1. So, and again, I know he works on the defensive side of set pieces as well. So
yeah, he does.
I'll give it 5 just because we conceded from 1.
Okay, Steve, what about you?
I'd match that. I'd literally match that as a 5 because we conceded. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. And finally, Arteta. We'll start with you this time, Steve. Arteta rating, please.
1.
No, fair
he
enough.
gets a 1. I'm not going to give him a 0. I'll give him a 1.
No, fair enough. Gumza?
Give him a 6.
Okay.
I feel we controlled the game. We should have been 2 up. You can see some criticism for keeping and trying with these players, but if you look at the reflection of the game, he's not on the pitch to score Martinelli's chance. He's not on the pitch to pass the ball to Trossard. He can't miss Havertz's header. Like, players have to take some responsibility for this performance as well.
Yeah.
And system-wise, I don't think we was bad. Cool. It was just moments, and so for me, he gets a 6 for that.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. Temi saying surely Cine gets a 10. Hell no, not on this. If he deserves a 10, then fair dues. But
yeah,
I can't see that ever happening. So yeah.
So on the other thing, I know we've all spoke about Sterling not coming on, and I think that you've cleared up. You said he's not ready. He shouldn't have been on the bench.
He shouldn't have been on the bench. I literally no idea why.
I would have scored him down for him not bringing on Sterling, but from what you said,
he shouldn't have been on there, mate.
I wanted to see Partey off the pitch. He just looked disjointed, but I wanted Rice to be in that position. I wanted Havertz to go in today and Jesus to come up. We were looking for a goal.
Yeah.
We're looking for a goal, and we bring on Jorginho. That's the reason why I'm giving him a 1. You've done the Havertz in the 8 before. Put Jesus in the 9. Put Havertz in the 8. The game's in the shit anyway.
Yeah.
You put Zinni on the left. maybe you got some fluidity. Flip the
Yeah.
wingers, leave Trossard on there for a goal, put him on the right side, put Martin on the other end. Now you've got a whole bunch of attackers. That's what he could have done.
Yeah.
But instead,
see the crack when obviously I was doing the Zoom
You know
call
what I mean?
whilst watching the football last night, and the cracks weren't appearing until that first sub. That first sub angered a lot of people because they didn't understand it. Jorginho for Partey. We were 2-0 down. And
almost like for like. It's like,
Yeah.
what's the point of that? Let's go. Let's put an attacker. How about this? Jesus, get on there. You know, wouldn't it have I know it's not great, but Havertz plays an 8. You know, at least then you flip the wingers on their head so they can go the other way around. Jesus goes down the middle, and now you've got more attackers on the pitch. Maybe we got a goal. Maybe.
Yeah.
We've scored that way before.
Yeah. Silver One, who's obviously cooking his stew now, saying Trossard at ring, not for me. It's Havertz for me. Havertz should be played out on the right wing. He's good at it. Honestly, he was very good at Leverkusen. It's where I first noticed him, was at Leverkusen. So for me, give him a shot. We obviously need it at the moment, so just do it. These are the type of times. But Gumza, you want to talk about the player bust-ups?
See, someone said in the comments that it's a slippery slope from there. And there's reports Liverpool had a bust-up on the weekend as well. For me, these are good things.
Yeah.
I think this is a good thing. I think players need to take some responsibility. They need to hold each other accountable. They can't be happy walking off that pitch. I'd be more concerned if everything was happy in the camp and
they were dancing around, right?
Posting videos. Yeah, I'd be more concerned if that was happening. So actually, there's always football fights in football camps, and actually that shows the sign of a dressing room. We don't want factions, but actually get it out your system, hold each other accountable. Now we repatch it, we make it stronger, and how do we move forward? And this could be the start of a turning point. And sometimes you need these moments. Do you know what I mean? Everyone get out your system, say what you got, what's got to be said, and now let's move forward from it. The time we will tell if we have a bad performance on the weekend and then we lose against Tottenham, then it could be a bad thing. But if we respond how we're meant to, it could be the start of a good thing. Do you know what I mean? So
exactly.
Fingers crossed.
And I know Gumsy, you got to go. Have you got to go now, mate?
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Sorry, boys. Thanks for having me.
Right. No, it's all right. Thank you for coming on.
Hopefully I'll see you again soon.
Yeah, speak to you later though, Gums. Take care, mate.
See you, mate.
Steve, I am going to wrap this up because obviously 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours on stream, mate. Like fucking hell, mate. Like we if we didn't cover every little fucking aspect of Arsenal in these 2.5 hours, mate. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. But mate, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, guys. It's been a wonderful stream. We've had over 200 people currently watching for like hours now, and you haven't gone. That's the wonderful thing. They've stuck around and carried on staying. So thank you very much. I've seen new people in the chat as well, which has been lovely to see. So thank you ever so much. Temi calling someone legends. Definitely Steve is a legend. I'm just me, mate. You know me. I hate compliments. It freaks me out. It's a lot ongoing thing that's been going on for years. I can't stand compliments. My son's is exactly the same, to be fair. Actually, you know when you go to school, you get these certificates for like, I don't know.
You're like Roy Keane, right? You know, it's like, oh, he done such a great job. That's a fucking insult. Fucking hell. Well, fuck you too, then, Roy. Thanks for that, mate. Yeah, no worries. Look a weird bastard.
I love you guys. But look, it's been a really great stream. I hope everyone's had some therapy. Obviously, I don't do a transfer show unless there's something to talk about. I don't just do this transfer show for the fun of it, because it's not fun. I don't want to give you guys hope. Currently, we're working on stuff, but I don't expect a signing for another 10 to 14 days, if I'm honest. That's how I'm looking at the moment. The time frame looks like about 10 to 14 working days. It's not business. 10 to 14 days, we should get a signing. There's a lot of stuff happening for the summer as well, because it has to. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it has to happen now for the summer as well. This is what happened with Declan Rice. We worked on stuff in the January window for Declan to get him coming in the summer. So just be prepared. Something will happen. I just don't know when at the moment. I'm sorry, I can't give you any more hope than that. But Steve, where can they find you, my dear friend?
Well, mate, they'll find me on the Aussie Gooner channel, my channel, on YouTube. Almost at 1K. Been quite successful in the last couple of streams, so it's been good. So if you want to find me, Aussie Gooner channel, check me out. I'm streaming from time to time, a bit Last Minute FC, but when I'm there, I'm having shits and giggles. So you'll find me there on Instagram. Aussie Gooner there and Aussie Gooner on YouTube.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you, guys. Guys, as always, thank you ever so much for being here. The Manchester United preview should happen Saturday night. I'm trying to get Colm to come and join me. I'm pretty sure he will. And yeah, it'll be an interesting one. So obviously, we'll do the watch along on Sunday as well for the third round game. All I would say, Arsenal fans, just prepare yourselves. There is a very big possibility for the next two games we might not get the results we want.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to kind of prepare ourselves for it. And will that be the end of our season? Probably, if I'm honest. It always happens at the same time. We always have like this period where everything just ends at the same time. Currently, it looks like we're going out the League Cup. It's not done. It's not a done deal yet. Let's be honest. It's not. If we were to lose the FA Cup at the weekend, there's going to be a massive meltdown. Let's be honest. And then obviously we've got the North London derby next Wednesday, which I still don't like. I don't like the fact it's on Wednesday night. It just doesn't fit right with me.
It's fucking strange, eh? Like Wednesday, NLD on a Wednesday. What?
Yeah, I don't like it. I think it's personally to make sure that I can't do it as a watch along. That's what I think it is, because I can't do weekday games anymore. I think they're just trying to ban me from doing the watch along for North London derby, because the last time we did it, it was carnage. We had Tottenham fans on. It was a great stream. But yeah, I think they're trying to ban me. But no, in all seriousness, it's going to be an interesting next few games. Do check out Steve. He is a top legend. If anyone can find me on X and they want to be added into the group WhatsApp on for what we all do talk about, we honestly, it's non-stop Arsenal talk all the time in our group WhatsApp. It's very fun. Please do message me on X and I'll try and get you added in because we've had some extra people that have come in recently as well, and they've been added just beautiful stuff as well. So no one is a top gooner here. We're all gooners. We all support the same club. We just may want things differently sometimes, but we all get on, you know. That's the beautiful thing about being an Arsenal fan for me. But guys, it's been an honour. I need to go now. Funny enough, I've got things to do. So I'll definitely speak to you later. Steve, thank you. Great honour. Speak to you later. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.